debate.
To a good podcast.
Facts. So what you drinking today? Water? Water it is. Bring my soju's back.
Got that soju in me.
Yeah, I went to Pinky's. Since nobody else want to sell them.
Yeah, my boy. You see, what did you say? I heard you say you was catching up on your anime. What you been watching?
Rise of a Shield Hero.
Oh, okay.
I'm on season 4. I've been watching that.
I haven't finished that shit. I've got to season 2 and I just kind of puttered out.
Rise of a Shield Hero?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been, since it came out, I watched that whole situation and I've been locked into it because you can tell this is it's one of them for me. It's one of them bigger stories. Like, it's not something that's straightforward. You know, there's more to the situation, especially after a while when you get to the point that they're not the only heroes that came through. There's different heroes.
Is that considered a shonen? Or?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was wondering because shonen are more like fast-paced action. A lot of action.
I know it's 3.
One Piece is a shonen, right?
Yeah.
So
let me see. Because there's 3. I've at least recently learned there's 3 different categories for this thing, for anime. Is Rising,
or is it? It's a damn. I know the word. I just blanked on it. Where they disappear to another realm or whatever.
Yeah.
What the? How did I forget? I'm just blanking on the word.
That's literally what it is. They considered an isekai.
Isekai. There you go. I was about to call it an isekai, and I just didn't want to say that on mic.
Yes, the Rising of Shield Hero is definitely an isekai, as its protagonist, Naofumi, is summoned to modern day Japan to a fantasy world to become one of 4 legendary heroes fitting the core definition of being
isekai.
Let me see.
Boy, I tried to put my sister on Freerun.
You watch Freerun?
I watched 4 episodes. I just can't get past 4.
I couldn't get past 1.
I fell asleep on that shit
Multiple
times. I keep trying to want to like it. I just keep trying to want to like it. I don't get what everybody likes slow about it. Yeah, I keep seeing these videos. There's this one chick on my TikTok. She talks about Freerun a lot, and she does these like Demon Slayer videos about how Freerun be killing demons and shit, and like the demons act like humans, but they're really not. And I'm like, man, I want to get to that so bad, but I just can't make it there. It's like, fuck.
So they said anime types are broadly categorized by their target audience demographics like shonen, shouju, seinen, josei, kodomomuki, or by their specific themes and plot devices. Isekai, Micha, slice of life, fantasy, sci-fi, romance, etc.
So basically, whatever the fans consider.
Yes. So they said shonen aimed at young boys, teenagers, often featuring adventure, action, and friendship, like Dragon Ball Z. Shouju, I hope I'm saying shoujo, for young girls, focusing on romance, relationship, and emotions. Seinen for young men, adults with more mature themes, psychological depth, and complex plots like Cowboy Bebop. They said josei for adult women, featuring realistic portrayals of adult life, romance, and drama, Honey and Clover. And kodomomuki is a children's anime focusing on simple adventures, humor, and family-friendly content like Hamatoro. And then everything else it breaks it down in basically like isekai, protagonist transport or reincarnating to another world, mecha featuring giant robots in combat, slice of life, focus on everyday activities and mundane, wholesome moments, harem.
Harem?
One protagonist surrounded by multiple potential love interests, like the time of what's it called, that girlfriend one.
Yeah.
You could tell. Fantasy
The Rent
supernatural.
a Girlfriend one?
Yeah, you could tell that's more of a harem anime. Of course, fantasy supernatural involves magic, mythical creatures, and supernatural. Sci-fi explores futuristic technology, space, and dystopian worlds. Action, adventure, high-stake battles, quest, and exploration. Psychological delves into complex characters' minds and emotions. Yuri, Yahweh or Yuri, male or male or female. Oh, okay, male or female romantic relationships and sports.
No, okay. Damn. For a nigga that watches anime, I didn't know none of that shit.
Me either. So technically, the primary 5 is what you have to know is shonen, shoujo, seinen, josei, and kodomomuki.
And everything falls underneath those. So
Yeah, pretty much it all depends on in different brackets of where they at.
So just like regular TV shows.
Yeah, so pretty much what is from based off what I'm getting is these are technically aimed for a demographic. So technically speaking, even if it's an isekai, it will be more shonen because of the fact of the matter is it's aimed as an adventure action based.
But see, that's why I'm wondering because Frieren is more fantasy, but I guess that's underneath shonen. But it's not geared towards teenage boys, and it has more of a story, but it's about an adventure.
So it could be a seinen for young men, adults, or depending, it could be a seinen and a josei because for young men and adults with more mature themes, psychological depth, and complex plots.
Possible.
Because
I'm childish as fuck. Jesus, I just be liking niggas throwing hands.
Because josei is for adult women featuring realistic portrayals of adult life romance. So it could be a seinen if it's that. Let me see. Frieren.
Yeah, because I don't know if it would classify as a shonen. Because I think of shonen as Naruto, One Piece, Demon Slayer, stuff like that in that realm. Very male influenced, a lot of fan service. So,
It's a shonen.
Yeah, it is still considered a shonen.
Frieren is a shonen, but instead of following the protagonist that is Fern in this universe, we see from the point of view of her master, Frieren.
Oh, the purple haired girl is the main protagonist. That might make more sense to me now. You know what I'm saying? Because now I might be, now that I get a little more, because I was going through Crunchyroll last night and I was just looking, and there's so many different animes, but I know for a fact, like, I'm not here to watch no weird shit about like a dude surrounded by a bunch of chicks. I'm not here to watch. It's kind of like the way I like to read books. I like books that have to do with action. Like there's the main protagonist, some super fucking soldier ass dude, or I like some whimsy, a little bit of whimsy.
Whimsical.
Yeah, I like some like magic. You know what I'm saying? I also like non-fictions, but if I'm gonna read a fiction book, I want it to like take me on a fucking trip.
Journey, yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear about how the fucking fountain of youth got found by a wizard who's been ruling the world for 1,000 years or some shit. You know what I mean?
You see, I'm mixed when it comes down to anime because I will always go for like an action adventure anime, but sometimes the plot has to be good for me to pay attention to it. Because there's a lot of, you could see like when you watch like on Facebook or YouTube, when you see the clips, you're like, oh shit, like this anime is badass, but that's just the one fight scene that you see, and then you go into the real anime and you go like, oh yeah, it's really like, all right, okay, it didn't really draw me in like you want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't mind, like, it all depends, because sometimes you find, like for me, I find myself watching like sometimes like relationship animes based off because the character sometimes is funny as fuck, and I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. Like something about it, like even when you watch the Rent a Girlfriend situation, like I watch that shit and It's just real for me. It was just one of them that is not too heavily in depth, but you just watch the stupidity that this guy does and go like, man, yo, you fucking up, bro. Like, you didn't have to go this way. Or like in the beginning, man's you rented a girlfriend and then you get mad because you see that she did her service, but you get mad for how she did her service because you felt like it's like an OnlyFans thing.
Hoe gonna be a hoe.
Yeah. You feel like oh, everything is special because she come and she's so nice. She hold my hand and da. But then you it's like you took you on a fantasy where the fact of the matter is like, bro, you paid for this service, bro.
Yeah.
What do you expect was gonna happen when you go to do her review and you realize that you're not the only one she's done this to. She held somebody else's hand. She sat up there and got interested in what they like, and so that she can make the date go better. Like, you rented the fucking girlfriend. So it's like, but it gets, to me, it's like one of them things where it's like it kind of gets funny because you just watch the stupidity happen, and it's just one of them lighthearted like animes. Like, all right, cool, I could just have it pass by or whatever and call it until like either one of your actual animes come back and go like, all right, there's like one of them that you just filler animes for me.
Yeah, I guess my anime choice also reflects like my movie and my
what you
TV
like watching
show.
the real air.
Yeah, like because I'm always watching some shit with some blood shed in it, or you know, if I like I tell my girl I love her, but she love that lovey-dovey, mushy-gushy, romantic stuff. And I'm like, I'm all fucking steak and fucking mashed potatoes over here. I want to see some guns. I want to see somebody get their
beheaded.
Yeah.
I want to see blood and gore.
Car chase.
I want to see high action.
Yeah, high action, high throttle. So, boy, I just love a good fucking thriller. And,
hell yeah.
I like good drama too, though.
That's what I said. I like drama. I have no problem with lovey-dovey movies because that's just where, like, creatively, like, it just makes you it gives you different perspectives on things. So I have no problem with it. It's not something that I'll go like, I want to see it heavy. It has to catch me from the trailer. If the trailer seems interested to me, then I'm like, all right, let me check it out. And that's sometimes what me and my wife will sit down and then we'll watch it. Then, of course, action. I realize, like, movies wise, like shows wise, I like drama shows. Yeah. Because to me, it's something like, even from growing up wise, like when you watch Smallville and shit like that, like, it was, even though it had action in it, it was still heavily based on drama and type shit. Based on the story plot. And even One Tree Hill and stuff like that's what I grew up on. So it was like,
watching One Tree Hill. My mom would have that shit on, and this was back in the day. You could only you sit in the living room, you watching whatever she
watching.
The CW.
CW11.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, bro.
My boy.
They used to watch all that. From that to was it Felicity? Dawson's Creek.
My girl still watch all these shows.
Yeah, Netflix brought them back.
Gilmore Girls. Yeah, boy. My girl been watching about all this shit about 1,000 times.
And see, One Tree Hill this is crazy. One Tree Hill is one of them, like, when it first came out with the brothers situation, once again, it's like the drama shit. Two brothers that didn't know each other. And, well, based off of it is one, the father took on the son with the wife that he's married with, and pretty much look at his other son as a bastard child. But the uncle is the one that really loved him as a son, even though he knew that was his uncle or whatever. And the whole thing about this is basketball. Like, they both was great basketball players, and they go through that whole spiel of life where the fact of the matter is, you know, as they get old, as they're going through their teenage years and stuff like that, and they go through a fact of life of trying to cope with each other as being brothers and stuff like that, and, you know, sharing the same girl at one point in life. You feel me? And it was just one of them things where you look at it back and it's like, because you was young at the time, and especially for me, you haven't been through high school as yet. Yeah. So it's like you looking at this like, is this what high school's like? Like, like you started as a kid, you like, is this what really high school's like?
Listen to Taz find his inner white girl,
bro. I'm telling you. But But I ain't gonna lie, that's where like when it comes down to it, even when you go further and you watch it, if you think about like now, when even though this is gonna be their final season, All American. Like when you look at it now, the same thing is like it's not the same plot, but it's just a kid going from was it Compton? No. I don't know. I'm trying to remember exactly. But it's like going from there to the Beverly Hills, from the hood to Beverly Hills, and changing his life and trajectory and stuff like that, and going through that situation where you have to battle, where people from where you from is looking at you different, and you're going through your lifestyle through high school that way because you got an opportunity and you move forward. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you still, even as an adult, you know what I mean, you looking at it as, for me personally, it's just, I look at things in a creative mindset, like, you kind of deep dive into like what made you think, even though somebody's story like is based off of somebody's story or whatever in real life, you still have to see the creative mind, because a lot of the things in when it's based off of it ain't all the way true. Mm-hmm. Certain things didn't automatically always happen the way it did, because there's people that can't really document what really happened. Like if you went to the cabin with your friends and what the conversation's like and all this type of shit, and whatever the case may be, all the things that happen in everybody's life when that main character is not there. So it's like, it's just the creativity behind drama. That's why I fucks with it. It's just the creativity of bringing up that story depending on where you're going. And especially if it goes through seasons, then it's like, you have something, like it's a gem. You have something, and to create this for 8 season, or like the one Riverdale, based off the Archie comics. I like comics. Riverdale. I fucks with Riverdale, and it's like, damn, like you take something and you create it into this own little universe of it, and you just get wrapped into it. And so that's why I fucks with it.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You want to go ahead? Let's before we get any deeper.
Let's do the intro real quick. Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of the Lyrically Acclaimed podcast. I'm your host El Monetaz, and I'm with the one and only ARCHIE man. Archie Boy is in the building.
What it do?
And y'all know your favorite Uncle D is not here this week. He'll be back, and you know what I mean, his spot is always here. You feel me, Uncle D?
You got a straw in his place today.
Well, you know, whatever's there is there. It's gonna keep his place. You feel me? Shit, I told you one of these days we gotta put a teddy bear here every time he's gone. Put the mic on that teddy bear and let
put a collar shirt and some glasses on that bad boy.
Shit, since you look up Black Bear.
Get a name tag for it. Hello, my name is Black Bear. Yeah.
You gotta do that. So every time he's gone, he's here. Yeah. Shit. What it do though? How's everything?
Oh man, things good. Things real great. New year, new stresses at work.
Yeah.
But besides work, everything else is going good. I'm dropping something to vibe to EP. January 23rd.
I gotta go check that out.
Yeah, go listen to it. It's just a 5-song EP. Just something because I haven't dropped in a while, and it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning of something that's gonna keep going for a while. So go cop it, man. There's some good tracks on there, all produced, beats made, whatever you want to say, all by BNB Spiff, BNBY Spiff. Let me get it right. I got some good features on there. I got Joe on there. I got Spiff on there. I got Jay on there. I wasn't able to get my boy Taz on there, but best believe something's around the corner with that.
We got you.
Yeah, man. Other than that, yeah, life's been good. I've just been trying to figure out more creative ways to promote it. I'm starting to slowly promote it. I think I found my little way that I want to do it.
It's fun with the anime things that you've been doing online. It's kind of funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. That Sanji one is crazy.
Hey, Love is Blind. I felt like that went perfect with Sanji.
That was funny. It's just the face that he makes.
Yeah. Shit. I low key want to get back. I low key if it. It's part of me since I'm 30 in my 30s. Let me put it like that. So I'm in my 30s. A nigga want to press up CDs and just hand them out, but a nigga know. Who buying CDs today? You
never know. I ain't gonna lie to you. We say that now, but just think about it. we in an era where, like we said, we would think about that, and then you think vinyl came back. Vinyl came back, and people is purchasing vinyls. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I can't say nobody won't purchase a CD just for the nostalgia version of it, and it's like going back into that era where, you know, you have something physical that people could sit down there and I feel like even as a youngin', they could sit down there and go like, yeah, I remember this album. No matter if they listen to it digital, but they have something there that they could go forward with every time they watch this vinyl or this CD. Go like, yo, this was a great album, or they could come back and say this was an ass album, like whatever they want to say what it was.
They bought it.
They bought it. You know what I mean? But I feel like people might like. People might do it.
CD players in cars no more. Though.
There's not though.
You know what? I thought. Now I'm thinking about it. You know, Lil Russell, Love Russell, not Lil Russell, but Love Russell. He's been, you know, on this little thing where he's trying to do 30 days. He's live streaming basically a concert where he's doing. Where he's trying to sell 100,000 copies, and he's burning all the CDs and sending them out.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, he had Snoop Dogg in there, Kyrie Irving. Snoop Dogg donated like 2,500 or something like that for a CD. He done already sold 5,000 copies.
Damn.
Yeah, but he's still. I mean, hell, I haven't been keeping up with it every day, but I mean that was like the first couple of days.
I gotta give shout outs to Lil Russell because his hustle is crazy, bro. Like he really paved the lane for himself. Like for somebody that I could say is a true go getter. Like he made sure, like when it came down to it, promo game and how he was doing his, I gotta give him credit. Like I haven't followed his footsteps directly, but when you watch it, you go like, you have to
respect it.
You have to respect the game that he's doing.
Crazy hustle.
Because for him to sit up there and go like, if I don't want to, I don't need to do shows out there where I can invite you to my backyard and create shows. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Who's gonna stop me? Nobody. Yeah. I could get my team, which is teams of people that I trust and believe in me. We could be friends or whatever the case may be, family members, then come and I give them jobs to help this whole thing work. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? And go forward, it brought a bigger light to him where he's figuring out, if I'm at this interview, we could sit up here and clip it while I'm still at this interview and it's going to go viral. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, if I could sit up there and be in your face multiple times a day, you're going to have to click and see what the hell is going on. Yeah. And you just got to respect it, because at the end of the day, like all the things that he's doing, a lot of people may not be doing because either based off of industry or based off of what they trying to do or how they see fit to do, or following. Like if I see this artist doing it, I should probably do the same thing because they have success. And he's just paving his own way and lane into making him, like, when you look at it, it's like, yo, you gotta respect what he's doing. Mm-hmm. No matter what it is, you gotta respect what he's doing.
Yeah, I think Lil Russell is a good indicator for anybody who's independent who think they can't. Mm-hmm. Every barrier that man has been through, he's found a way through. And not only that, just think about it. He is doing his thing where he's promoting his album by also like doing this live stream, trying to get 100,000 sold. But that also hypes it up. Yeah. For whenever it drops on stream, people are going to go rush and listen to it because they want to know what the hype was. You know what I'm saying? What's up with and like, he's just a creative dude. Dude comes up with new ways to get his face out there, and I'm like, man, that seeing him do what he's doing makes me feel like I'm not doing enough.
Facts.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, I think he around our age. Let me look.
I believe so. Let
me look. Let me see.
He in his 30s, ain't he?
I think so.
I know from based off, I think it was an interview or something where he's
31.
He's been doing it for a minute.
Nigga look like he's 22, 24. Yeah. Whatever his skincare routine, I need to know.
And I think he's a father too and all that. So it's like he has
there ain't
that.
No excuses.
There ain't no excuses. He's grinding. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And that's why I said I got to shout out and give him respect on it, because at the end of the day, bro, his hustle is different. And
quality music too.
Yeah,
good music, good Bay Area,
very creative. Like
that he's gonna be a Bay Area legend whenever it's said and done. People are gonna respect his name. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be talked about.
If they don't now, And for somebody that's I could say kind of is underground because he's not really mainstream. I'm not gonna say he's mainstream because you don't really, unless you actually is in that core and you're really looking for him and see what he's doing and it's popping up on your algorithm. Like for somebody who's doing it, if it's underground, bro, yo, shout outs and kudos to all you, bro. Like keep doing what you're doing because at the end of the day, it gives us all independent artists and everybody is underground. It gives you light to, yo, if he's doing it, bro, you can do it. There's nothing stopping him.
Yeah.
He just made sure if this is my brand, my platform, we're gonna do something. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make my own ecosystem,
and I'm gonna make y'all notice it.
That's a fact. And like I said, he inspired everything, like things that I've thought of and ideas for us in general. Like it was like the way he did it, like creating his own atmosphere and creating his own stage, because that's what he did with his backyard concerts. You create your own stage. If you're not gonna put me on, or if nobody's checking for me, I'm gonna make you look for me, and I'm gonna create my own stage. Come to my backyard, see the concert. And who's gonna stop me? There is no regulations here because it's my property. So this is what we doing here. If we're gonna do this backyard barbecue situation, and I only could host 100 people at a time, or 150, or even a smaller crowd, but you want to be here. And from what I've seen, a lot of his times, his tickets for his even backyard events be sold out.
Yeah,
but he be having Bun B went.
He got the Bay Area on lock. Yeah, he like I said, he making his way through as an underground legend. But again, shout outs to that boy Lil Russell, man. Hell yeah, inspiration to all of us underground guys. Cause
that's a fact.
Ain't no way in hell you can say all this and all that when you see Lil Russell doing it, man. You can go just as hard.
There ain't no excuses out here, bro. Like to me personally, the a lot of excuses it was given to us because based off of number one, if you age, like because they used to say it's a young man's sport and everything like that, and I get it. But then also after a while, like we've always told, age comes with maturity and becomes with a different mindset. And some of the things that you thought of when you was in your 20s, you don't think of the same times when you're 30s, because if you've elevated yourself, you start doing a lot of different things, your movements change, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, experiences come between your 20s and your 30s, and even going forward in your 40s, you know what I mean? A lot of new experiences, you go through ups and downs, different challenges in life. So when you put it in when you take all of that and put it into music, you will be surprised who is actually going through a lot of the situations you're going through and who could actually relate to those situations. And you'll be surprised how that could generate into a whole different ecosystem for you as an artist, for yourself. You know what I mean? We can't keep putting barriers on ourselves every time we think that we missed the mark. Sometimes you never miss the mark. You know what I mean? There's people that you gotta create that shit. Like the one thing I could say like that also showed me inspiration is not even based off of music. When you think of what was that podcast? It was that sports podcast.
I Am Athlete.
I Am Athlete. Chef Nancy. She was in her 50s. She went to culinary school literally in her, like, I think her late 40s. And she started her whole new career at that time. You know what I mean? In her late 40s, she took a risk on herself, or something that she wanted to do and believed in. And she took that, and look how far she became a private chef and all that time. So it's like, yo, this is somebody that's taking on something new. And even me being in culinary school now, and you watching the students that's next to you and in these live videos and everything like that, there's people there that's in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and they taking on something new. No matter if they learning just to be a better cook for themselves in the home, or the fact that they feel like this is something that they're passionate about and wanted to do forward. They wanted to do but never got the chance, and they took an chance on themselves, a risk on themselves, and went to school to become a chef. You know what I mean? Age don't stop you sometimes, and I'm gonna put it like that. Age really don't stop you. It's you that stop you. You can't allow these barriers that people put on you to stop you from chasing what you believe in and something that you've been trying to do for a very long time. You just have to take the risk. Excuse me. You really just have to take the risk and go forward. Because at the end of the day, if you don't take the risk, bro, you're just gonna sit up there and, like I always say, you're just gonna what if yourself. Keep going forward. I should have done this. I should have done that. You could have done it. Yeah, that's what you should have. You could have done it, but you never took the risk. You either was too scared or you felt like you couldn't do it. you could find time. That's one thing I could always say. You have 24 hours in a day. You can find time. Those down times that you have throughout the weeks, when you sit up there, there's times where the fact that, like, for us, we work in the oil field. There's times where we will have these hectic weeks that, yes, we'll be out there 17, 18, 19, sometimes 24 hours, even maximum 50 hours. Yes, but what happens on them days when you're not, when you only do an 8-hour shift? What do you do with the time that when you go home? What do you do with the time that you have? All that free time is the time where you should take to start doing your practices, start looking into and researching what you want to do and believe in and go from there. Because at the end of the day, we have all this time and we like to make excuses about time. Like, oh, I don't got time for this, time for that. But then when you ask yourself, what was you doing yesterday on a Saturday? Oh, I was just chilling, watching a movie and shit. That could have been the time you could have took an hour out of that day to hone your skills.
Yep, facts.
That's that 1 hour that you could have took, or that 2 hours you could have took to write a verse, to sit down there and listen to beats. You know what I mean? Or as a chef, that's the time you could have took to start training on your cuts. Sit down there and practice that recipe that technique that was holding you up in that last class. You feel me? Like, this is the times where even finance, whatever it is, this is the time you could have sat down and really work on yourself. Let's put it like that. Whatever the things that you want to do, this is the time that you could have worked on yourself. So all I can say is this, bro. If you believe in something for yourself, if you want to do something, go ahead and chase that dream, because nobody else going to do it. Nobody is going to stop you but you. The outside world is not going to stop you. It's only you that's going to stop you. You feel me?
Facts. No, for real, for real. Again, man, shout out to Lil Russell. Something to Vibe to, coming out January 23rd. Go give it a listen. I ain't asking for no money for it. I do this for the love of the game. Let me know what y'all like when y'all hear it.
Finex.
Now, how's your week been, my brother?
Busy as hell. You know what I mean? It's been busy. You know what I mean? Rig ups, rig downs. Like you said, working the oil field, so we've been rigging up shit. A lot of new installs and whatever the case may be. We did an official rig down today. Barely saw the shop. You know what I mean? But it felt good to be outside.
Yeah, boy.
Go on that road. You know what I mean? 2026, I know it's supposed to be a different year for us and going forward, and that's what I'm hoping for personally. And personally, it's going to be a different year, and even for the job, it's going to be different. So, but besides that, it's just been busy, but it's been good though. You know what I mean? Can't complain. Yeah, I can't complain about it.
Facts, man. That's one thing that I appreciate about New Year. Like, starting a new year, you get a fresh start. You get a fresh 365, and what you do with it is up to you. And it's important, like going back to what you were just saying, even then, it's important that you prioritize your time. That's in the era and the age of everything is given to you pretty quick.
Yeah,
you can throw everything in a microwave. You can pull up to a drive-through. You could click a streaming app. You can do this and do this, do that. Everything now. You can stream your favorite show instantly. Man, take some time to really work on yourself and work on the things you want. That's for real. That's for real, man.
That's facts,
you get a new year every year. You get 365 days to figure out what you want. And it's up to you to do what you gonna do with it.
And that's why we said, like on the last episode, it's commitments. Like, I understand resolution is somewhat the same thing as decisions that you make, but you have to make a commitment to that. You feel me? And that's why I'll say you got to make New Year's commitments. Commit to the choices that you make going forward. If you want to start something new, commit to that. Find what it is that you love to do. It doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be music. It doesn't have to be becoming a chef. It could be just doing poetry. It could be doing art. It could be, literally speaking, starting, even if you was decided, like, you know what, this year I'm going to read 12 books, a book a month, or whatever the case may be. Commit to that. You know what I mean? You'll be surprised. Once you sit down there and you commit to something that you're trying to do, going forward, you'll be surprised how invigorating it is when you going forward, like, damn, I'm about to hit this. Because you make it like a little mini goal for yourself. You know what I mean? Financial structures. If you're trying to budget out for the angle, like, you know what, I'm trying to save $10,000 this year. Make a commitment, make a plan, and do what you got to do. Execute it. That's what you got to do. Execute the plan. And continue to execute it. Don't fall short because we in January, because that's what the excuses are. We come in January, we start, we go like, yeah, this year we about to do this. And then as days go by, know what, I'm gonna start it in February. Days go, months go by, I'm gonna start it in May. You start procrastinating on it, and then after that, that's where we end up giving up on the New Year's resolutions and go like, you know what, maybe next year. Nah, bro, because that next year would never come, because you already have that mindset. The next year would never come. You will always say maybe next year around the same timing, or even in an earlier time, because you gave up on it. We got to stop doing that. Stop giving those excuses. If we want to do something, jump out and do it. Take the risk.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah. We here. We 41 episodes in.
Yeah.
We here. You know what I mean? We took that risk. We talked about it, 2 years prior to this? Or whatever. We talked about it before we think 2 years, and then we took a chance. We found the area where we was first audio, and we said, fuck it. Why not? We took the risk. We paid at that point. We was paying $20 a session or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And hey, we took that risk, and look where we at now. Like I said, 41 episodes in later, and we still going. We still counting. You feel me? So
yeah, man.
Y'all could do it. You feel me?
So speaking on New Year's in the beginning of the year, well, I think we should at least get this off of us and talk about what happened in Minneapolis and with the ICE shooting of Renee Good, and how that kind of started the year off a little crazy.
Yeah, my condolences go out to her family.
Yeah, I don't know much about her. It don't seem like and you can't trust anything that you read on the internet, because everybody has an agenda. Definitely don't trust anything you read on X, because anything political on there is just they instantly started making AI videos about the shooter, the cop, the ICE agent. He ain't no cop, but the ICE agent and the victim Renee. Which, man, there's just so much to say about all that, and it's a deep subject, and it's kind of rough.
It's a very touchy subject.
Yeah.
But for me, based off of videos that I've saw, I'm just going off of the videos that I saw. The shooting wasn't warranted, and that's what I'm gonna go there. It wasn't warranted, especially based off of hearing from, not just from what I've seen, but like listening to clips from ex-CIA agents and other political parties talking about the ruling of that, where the fact of the matter is that is something that is not trained to do. Yeah. You are not trained. That is part of their training. That lethal using lethal force is not a training, because at the end of the day, especially when it comes to car chases and somebody's moving within a car, because at the end of the day, the thing about this is shooting somebody with a vehicle that is in drive or whatever the case may be. Once you shoot somebody is liable to hurt somebody else with that vehicle. It's liable to cause more damage, because at the end of the day, they have no self-control at that point. No matter if they're unalived, or the fact of the matter is they're injured to a point that they can't move an arm, or whatever the case may be, that causes, in the hindsight of that could have caused a more horrific event if her wheels wasn't turning. That's how I've always said this when me and Archie talked off air. I've looked at it as, just imagine if there was another agent in front of that car, or a kid was in front of that car, or across the street, and this car was going to go straight, or even down the road where it went. If there was somebody there, other vehicles, this could have caused a catastrophe based off of a decision that this agent made, based off of, I guess, when it came down to it, based off of the videos that I saw, where she don't know more about it, but just based off of, she doesn't agree with the ICE situation, I guess, when in Minneapolis, based off of what I seen, that one video that I seen where they was videotaping her and whatever, and the forced entry in her to get out the car and all that, but you pull out your gun and then you shoot through the window, and then you shot her through the windshield, and then go around and shot her twice through her window. That was not warranted. You shot once already, bro. You shot once.
Yeah, not too many women I know can handle one bullet. Well, not too many. Nobody I know. Let me rephrase that. Nobody I know can withstand one bullet.
And then turn around and
put two more in her.
Two more in her, and then literally speaking, it peels off, and you hear the crash. Like at that moment, how I looked at it as, you should have used discretion, and that's all I could say. Use your discretion. Use your surroundings at that moment. No matter how you think of things, and I get it. At the end of the day, we've talked about it, the nuance of it. This is to take the political factor. These are two humans. One that went through a horrific event for himself as an ICE agent. You went through a horrific event yourself months earlier where you got dragged, which you could have lost your life during that situation. But to turn around and do something like this, and I get in a point where you're trying to control the narrative in this, and I'm gonna say like he's like, you're trying to control the narrative, but at the end of the day, you're not using the better judgment of what is around you or what is happening, because at the end of the day, this vehicle could turn into a weapon. Just like you feel like you fear for your life, what would have happened if there was other people around this area, around this lady that could have been in the street, vehicles coming by? Like I said, children could have come by, elderly people, doesn't matter who it is. People could have been coming by, and this could have been more of an event where one wrong decision caused a catastrophe for this whole situation based off of your discretions of a lady that was either moving out of the way, or the fact of the matter is because she's in fear for her life, because she could have saw the weapon being drawn, fear for her life, and she tries to hightail it out of there, but you chose to shoot at her, which to me, in a sense, when you watch the video, if the vehicle is turned, is no posed threat, because you was on the other side of that already. But that's my whole thing about that. Like, this shouldn't have happened. Like, real shit, this shouldn't have happened. Use better discretion on this situation. This should not have happened. She shouldn't have lost her life. At the end of the day, she shouldn't have lost her life, because if it wasn't really a posed threat to you, you shouldn't have lost her life. If she's just spewing nonsense to you, let it be nonsense. Let words be words, and let it be that. You know what I mean? I'd rather somebody sit up there and curse me out all day, and we talking back and forth, then it turned into a violent situation, and now somebody is, you know what I mean?
Think that's what the issue is, right? Is nobody really knows what was going on. We got a video, but you can see a lot from that video. There's multiple angles. There's his angle. There's the angle of the person that was shooting on the street, and I'm guessing there was another camera like further down.
Yeah,
another person that was recording. And my point of view from it all is, man, we politicize everything, and we need which is hard not to in today's climate, right?
Yeah.
It's hard not to politicize everything, because on one side you got an administration that is giving carte blanche and immunity to these agents to do whatever and get away with whatever, and then on this other side you got people who feel like they're protecting human rights. You got people who feel like they're protected. So yes, there is that political, but at the end of the day, you still have two humans locked into a situation right here. You got, and I'll put it like this: I don't know how accurate. This is what JD Vance said, so I don't know exactly how accurate it is. But if the old boy getting drugged down the street happened 6 months ago, 30-something stitches. Yeah, he's probably not thinking with the right part of his brain.
True.
Whenever he's in front of that vehicle, you know, he's definitely not. And that's not me trying to
give him
justify anything or give him an excuse. I'm just trying to get to the human side of it all. Like, if it was me with that gun in my hand, where would I be? I probably, you know, definitely hyped up all that adrenaline, not well trained. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm squeezing gun. There's there's other parts of me when I get analytical about it that, man, this dude, you know, shouldn't be there in the first place.
Yeah,
he shouldn't even be there. Like, if you that messed up about it, some type of psychiatry needs to be there before you went back into the field, or some more training after the fact, or whatever. But I feel like there's so many missteps there's so many steps that didn't happen before we got to this situation. And then second of all I see is I see a woman who's I can't say if she was there to protest or if she was there just in the street. I don't know none of that. All I know is I see a woman in a cart in the middle of the road letting people pass, and then I just pull up on her, and it looks in certain ways where if she is there protesting, she's like, oh shit, this shit just got real. Let me get the hell up out of here.
Yeah.
Or B, like, no, I'm trying to get out of the way. I'm trying to get out of the way. So one way or the other, she's operating from a place of fear. He's operating from a place of fear. Nobody's operating in
consciousness,
in the moment, and things go sideways. Now, in retrospect of it all, like both these people have been, one person's life has ended, and the other person has been put in a position where they had to end a life. Now, in real life, if something like that was to happen, it don't matter if you were in the middle of the street and you were justified at shooting, you would still have to go to a trial.
Yeah.
You would still have to prove your innocence in that case. It's always they say innocent until proven guilty, but that's not the case ever. That's not truly the case. You gotta go to court. You're gonna sit in the cell for a little bit. You're gonna have to prove. You're gonna have your day in court. It don't seem like we're gonna get that. We got Kash Patel's FBI running the investigation. Minnesota is out there asking people to send in their videos so they can do their own independent investigation because the FBI then froze out the state government and their investigators. So we know we're not going to get, definitely when you got people who are in the Trump administration already coming outside saying this, that, and the third about this woman, calling her a domestic terrorist and this and that. And this is all before her body is probably even cold. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I feel like, man, the temperature in this country has to be turned down some way, because I've seen too many crazy takes, man. Twitter, X, whatever you call it, man, it's just full of hate. It's full of just hate, man, from one side to the next, man. There's just people on there just saying how she deserved it. There's people on there saying, oh, you know, rest in pit, all this crazy stuff. Like, and it's like, man, the humanity of people the people on the right who also call themselves Christians is insane. Like, as a person who grew up in a Christian household, I could not believe that this is what I can't understand. How are you calling yourself a Christian and this is how you out here
acting? Yeah,
like that don't make no sense to me, because to me that means you're not an active Christian. You don't really believe in that thing, that Bible you carry around, and that cross that you wear on your neck. You really not a Christian if this is the way you functioning and operating. Because there's no way in the Bible that I read, in the teachings of Jesus that I was taught, that any of this is acceptable.
It's not. And the way I look at this is based off of what you said too. Y'all need to sit down and put yourselves in their shoes. Would you want somebody to come tell your family or the family of theirs to see when they go on Twitter or anybody else that you deserve that? And that's the real shit. Everybody likes to talk behind closed doors and go to Twitter, go to social media and go with Twitter fingers and all that and start talking shit. But then you really don't put yourself in that position, because if you was in that position, would you want somebody to tell you rest in piss? Yeah. Based off of you're just seeing the video. This is everything that we've cultivated just based off of what we've seen. I was not there to come and say, like, I saw this in live view to say anything. I'm just basing my opinions based off of what I've seen off of video, just like y'all are. To me personally, at the end of the day, all that disrespect and hate shit is not warranted no matter what the situation is, because at the end of the day, they have family just like y'all have family. And at the end of the day, y'all wouldn't want somebody to come and do the same thing to y'all versus the way that y'all been doing people in this type of manner, because that's just blatantly disrespectful.
And think about it like this: if she would have hit him with that car and killed him, what would the conversation be? You think they probably would have still them cops probably would have ended up hunting her down, getting her. You know what I'm saying? She would have been in jail instantly. We would have had a statement from Trump. We would have had a statement from Kristi Noem. We would have had a statement from the FBI talking Kash Patel. They would have been on a manhunt for this lady. If she ran over him, killed him, and drove off, she would be in jail. There would be all this in this said. So at the end of the day, I just feel like there's a lot of agenda at play here. This administration ain't gonna ever admit that they're wrong. They're never going to admit that they don't want to look weak because they've already took their stance on law enforcement. So if they turn around now and prosecute a law enforcement officer or agent for doing something that is blatantly wrong, then there they go. Then now you got a percentage of his base that is radical as hell, that is going to consistently hold his feet to the fire, and he needs his ego boosted, and he needs the people who are going to boost his ego. All right, and then last from what I gotta say about it all is, at the end of the day, man, we are all human. We are all human. We all bleed. We all are born. We all die one day. And for us to run around in these political gangs that we are in is pointless. It's pointless. None of these people at the top, I don't care red or blue, care about me. Obviously, over my years of being an adult and starting my own family, I ain't seen nothing that none of these people have done for me that has helped better my life or helped better the future for my children. And that last part is the best. That's the main part. Because I'm already 30 years through life. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I got another 60 in me, but I'm already 30 years through this thing. You get what I'm saying?
That's facts.
My kids are the ones that got to come up in this world that we are leaving behind. And at the end of the day, like I said, we have to find a way to make it back to the debate stage and debate ideas, get away from the violence. This country is going down a dark path, and I'm afraid of what the next we still got what 2 more years of this
after this year.
Fuck, he ain't even been in office a full year yet. January 20th or something like that is when he got
a full year in.
Yeah, he's gonna have his full year. So anyway, what I'm saying, because I know I'm probably talking to walls and talking to myself, preaching to the choir or whatever, but there has to be a way to find common ground.
There has to be a change, bro.
There needs to be change in the way we treat our politics. And no, I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. Nothing about this is normal.
Nothing about this is right.
Nothing about this is normal. A federal agent getting away with straight up murder, and that's what I think it is. I don't care what nobody else thinks it is. I don't care about these right-wing talking points. That's murder. Somebody should be in handcuffs.
Held accountable for that, yeah.
And the funny thing is, this happened just a few blocks from where George Floyd died.
Damn.
Just a few blocks, few years down the road. You get what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on in this country, and because sometimes I go outside my front door and everything seems so good, and then I see stuff like this going on. Maybe it's just where I live. Maybe it's just the people around me where I live. And maybe it's just the situations that I find myself in that just seems like, hey, man, maybe we might make it through this. But then I see what's on the internet and I see what's going on the news. And then, you got people who own platforms like Elon Musk who, aren't biased. They obviously are one-sided. And then you got this whole ecosystem of hate that's going on. And it seems like we're shrouded in it. And it's like, how do we wash this shit off of us? Because my kids deserve a future worth fighting for and living for. And my children deserve to grow up in a world where they don't have to fear a police officer or an ICE agent or whatever running down on them and have the immunity of getting away with their murder. You know what I'm saying? Or have to wake up one day or somebody done took my life. You know what I'm saying? Wrong place, wrong time, whatever situation. And they got to grow up without me because I decided to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Or I decided to stand up for the things that I believe in and take action on something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like the world is ready to actually view itself in the way that change can actually be made. But the few of us in the world, because I know there's a lot of us, the few of us who in the world who aren't spending our time on Twitter arguing with bots and arguing with other people who disagree with us, who really hope that this world change, man, we're going to still be here screaming into a void, but we're going to still be here. And hopefully that outnumbers the hate on both sides and the radicalization on both sides. Mm-hmm. And maybe one day we can get back to a normal, steady ground. And that's my last little piece.
All I can say is this. To me, like I said, this whole event is just an eye-opener to a lot of things, because this is not a race thing. This is to me, it's just a sickening situation. Like I said, my condolences go out to her family. And I agree with what Archie said. At the end of the day, we have to get back to where we can actually state opinions and leave it as opinions. Where the fact that we don't all always have to disagree with each other. We could sit up here and disagree, but we can actually listen to each other. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what one man believes, another man's going to believe the same thing, but we can actually hear them out and sit up there and go like, all right, cool. I see where you're coming from. I can understand you more, because I understand, like, if I don't agree that this is blue and this is green because this is what you see, I may not agree with you, but I understand your point of view. You feel me? And that's what we got to get back to. Once we started letting that go and you must be yes man, and we started doing all this shit, that's when we started losing hope and losing cause, and everything started going into a disarray. We can't keep doing that. We can't keep living in a society like that where everybody's opinions have to be agreed upon, or the fact so that we can all live.
Humans are way more nuanced than that.
We are way far.
Some people there's some socially liberal people that they got a little conservative in them, and there's some conservative people that got some liberal in them. There's people who stand in the middle all the time. You know what I mean? And this ain't a gang war. This is supposed to be, and I get it. For some people, it's like, how do I want my country to go? How do I want the future? It's the same thing that I'm saying for them. But at the end of the day, I'm not willing to kill over ideas. I'm not willing to die over them either.
Not at all.
I'm willing. There should be some type of compromise in this world. The only way I will go to my grave behind something is if one, it comes to my front door and I have to protect my family, or two, it is directly affecting my kids. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, there is no political idea or ideology that's going to get me, because you know what, at the end of the day, man, we all here, man. We all here together, and we should be able to communicate and talk. There's going to be people with ideas you do not like. There's going to be people with ideas you do not like that don't deserve to speak. But in this country, what it's supposed to be about is the freedom of speech, the freedom of ideas. We get to choose. We get to choose. We get to make the decision. We get to go to the ballot box and put our vote in. We get to do that. At the end of the day, that's all And because, again, I'm not putting myself in harm's way over some thought process that I haven't fully. Let me put it like this, because I know a lot of people probably be like, man, whatever, man, that's you. But then look, I am not connected to my ideas. My ideas are just ideas. The thought process I have, my ideas are not me.
Yeah, I
am not the things that come into my head. I am the actions that I make and the choices that I choose, and the morals that I have. And I am the man that wakes up every day just hoping to make it through and make sure my family's good. You know what I mean? Facts. At the end of the day, all these other ideas and all these other creative things and all this, these things come and go. Shit's wishy-washy. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, to die on these hills that people are dying on is wild. And because there leaves no room for conversation whenever you take these hard stances.
And that's the thing. It's the conversation. And I think it's time that we need to have these conversations. Because that's the one thing we're not doing. We're not having conversations. It feels like two sides yelling at each other about their beliefs and hopes and wants, and nobody's actually listening. Yeah. You just have sides, and every side is like, I want this, and I want this, and everybody's just yelling. Is what I've always talked about. It's just white freaking noise that's making so much noise in this society where everybody is just yelling and nobody's actually shutting up and actually listening to each other, so we could come to an actual compromising agreement where we could actually listen to each other, listen to what we all believe in, listen to things, and we could sit up here and have, like we said, go back to debating and come up to a compromising solution. Because the way we're going now, we're going, what they say, going down in a hell in a handbasket type shit. You feel me?
My dad and them used to say, "Boy, you going down the hill on a hill with greased wheels, boy."
I'm telling you.
I'll probably butcher that, Pops. You'll fix it in the comments.
But we have to start having these conversations so that we can come back to actually have good solutions where everybody could come to an agreement and we all agree upon it. Like, you know what? I get it, but we could all come and stand together, because this shit here, this left side, left wing, right wing situation, we're going, nah, bro. You could tell it's just causing more and more turmoil. It's just detrimental to the lives. It's not detrimental to them up top, but it's detrimental to the lives that have to live this situation. And we're not looking at it that way. It's becoming more detrimental to us, where it's getting scary out here. You feel me?
Yeah, and look, I'll tell you this. One thing that I do believe, and the stance that I will take, is peace. It'll always be peace.
Facts.
But one thing I do agree with, and it's crazy, I'm gonna say it. And I know he was coming from a disingenuous place, but it's a real thing. You know what? We see what happens whenever you try to get in these agents' way. They gonna put you down. They gonna hurt you in the worst way. They gonna do whatever. Nothing's gonna happen to them. So do your best. Stay peaceful. You believe in what you believe in. Stay peaceful while you do it. Just don't put yourself in harm's way. And the main thing is direct all this all this anger and all this agitation to the top. Direct it to the administration. Make sure that they know and they hear your voices, because turning this on each other isn't going to help nothing
at all.
That just pushes another agenda. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That just keeps everybody fighting with each other. Because to me, the craziest thing in this world, and the thing that probably scares them the most, is everybody coming together and getting along. Because then we get to see past the veil. Mm-hmm. Like, hey man, y'all ain't that bad over there. We ain't that bad. Y'all ain't that bad either. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
And that maybe that's utopian thinking, but I think that's true, man.
That's the change that we need. But
the craziest thing about all this is how it trickled into hip hop. And I seen a couple people saying Drake should probably change the name of his album, Iceman, because obviously ice is in the title. So what do you think about that, Taz? What you got on that?
To be honest,
you think it's insensitive?
I don't think it's insensitive, because this is something that he's been promoting way before all of this is happening. And the meaning to me, I'm looking at Iceman based off of, like, if you look at comic books and whatever, he's just going cold. Like, everything is going to be different. You know what I mean? Giving people the cold shoulder. I don't think he should, because of the fact of the matter is, like I said, to me, that would just be a personal, like, what everybody's thing is just a personal opinion based off of what is happening, but it doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the same situation, because based off of what I'm seeing is the Iceman thing came from after the whole Kendrick battle, after everything going forward, and he's, like I said, it's like giving somebody the cold shoulder. I'm about to be cold. You know what I mean? I'm about to be a different breed. On you niggas type shit. And that's why I see it as, I don't think he should change it at all. Like, I feel like
he would drop it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I wish.
That's the only thing I could say. I don't think he should change it at all based off of this. I don't think so.
I think that's another thing. Man, stop politicizing everything. Everything don't got to be political. Drake definitely is a Canadian. We've all established that. The man probably wasn't even in America when this happened, and also the man been promoting this way before this happened. Yeah. So I hope Drake keeps it the same. I hope he ain't listening to nobody on the internet. Which who listens to the people on the internet?
And the one thing I want y'all to understand: when people start thinking of concepts, especially names for albums, there's a reason behind it.
Yeah, the project, man.
The whole project is about to be exactly. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole purpose of it. Like it wasn't based off of Ice itself. It's just the fact of the matter is where his mindset is and where he's going with it as artistry, and that's where he's going with it. That's why I can't sit up here and put the correlation together with that, because one don't fit the next. You feel me? So
I don't. Yeah, man, you don't hear nobody asking Ice from Joe Budden's podcast to change his name. Which, you know what I'm saying? So
Mr. Freeze himself.
Mr. Freeze, yeah. Like I said, I think people need to just stop politicizing everything, and sometimes and leave a man alone, let him cook up, because the rest of us, we still waiting for something. You know what I'm saying? We want to see how that album gonna turn out.
That's a fact.
Definitely with everything going on with with the turnout and of the beef and us not really getting a hit from him in so long, and him not dropping an album all last year. Usually you get some music from some shit. Well, I guess some 60 songs to you is considered him dropping an album, but
this was a crazy turnout from that beef. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna say all three parties, because there was a third. From all three parties, this was a crazy. Besides, like I said, after all this, GNX and both, Cole and Drake. Even though Drake did do an album, Party Next Door, and that wasn't really. I don't know. It just feel like the turnout after that, it didn't go the way I thought it would have. To be honest, like we got. Don't get me wrong, we got songs from it. Like I said, we had. Grippy, Cole shouldn't have done that one. I always like to play it because to me it's a funny song, but he did Port Antonio, which was to me was a dope song, and he did Clouds, and then it just went quiet.
Yeah.
And then Drake did that one song that here did Delilah, which to me shouldn't have gone. And then he had his little moment. Like I said, he had the album that he did that to me personally wasn't his best situation. It was all right. I was like,
Boy, I always think in my back of my head, with all the bad songs that came out after the beef, I'll be thinking what if it was bets? Hey, if I win in the public,
because that's how it felt.
Yeah, you got to put the worst shit that you ever recorded.
Because it was just crazy. Because at the end of the day, when you sit down there and think back about it, it's like Cole left, and then he came out with Grippy. Yeah, it's everything's Grippy. And I'm like, why did you this is the song? I don't understand that. And then you turn around, and then Drake lost, and then he came out with that Delilah song.
Yeah, it felt. I swear to God, it was a part of the terms of the battle. It had to be part of the term.
How did both of y'all come out with two "This Ain't It" songs? What was that about?
Yeah, it felt like. Sometimes I feel like they playing in our face. Sometimes I feel like, man, they all fuck with each other low key. They all got each other's number, and they know how to create moments.
Yeah,
low key, but that's just a theory of mine. It ain't no real shit to it, and I just
it was just a bad coincidence.
It just feels like why would you do this?
That? Yeah,
right then and there.
Right
that's just
after
a conspiracy, hip hop conspiracy theory.
It was right after y'all either one bowed out, then he made this badass song, this horrible song.
Well, I'm out.
So I gotta do this.
Here's my worst song ever.
And then you turn around and Drake lost, and then I'm about to make this here. Delilah did why? What the hell?
Yeah, the nigga been having that shit in a vault hidden. That shit hiding, got dust on it. Fuck, I gotta upload this.
But yeah, that's how I see it. But back to Drake, like I said, I don't think he should change it. Keep it.
Yeah.
Keep the song. Keep the title to your album, because at the end of the day, what is expected based off of the name for me is you about to come out with some cold shit, and at the end of the day, I'm here for it. Like I always told you, I'm not the biggest of Drake fans, but I'm gonna have the air and see what's going on with it. Like, you feel me? Like, and that's what we do here.
And you've heard us on this podcast kicking that nigga back in
multiple times.
But I still respect Drake as an artist. I still consider myself a Drake fan. I just believe in saying what I feel and my thought process. So if that hurts, if that's not in the greatest light of a person, I don't know that nigga. He don't know me, so why does it matter?
That's a
fact.
But
I do respect Drake as an artist, and I would love to hear the music. I'm ready for, and I'm tired of getting teased. You had Rory over there making everybody think that he was going to drop that Thursday night. We was going to have something to listen to this morning. And, you know what I'm saying? We got French Montana and Max B, which, okay. I ain't really listened to it. So.
I didn't listen to it. I just listened to that first track.
I think that's that single that they dropped.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I heard that, and that's it. Yeah. I don't know.
There's a few artists I'm listening. I ain't gonna lie. I'm really waiting for Doechie's album. I'm not gonna lie. Based off of that track that she dropped, I want to hear it. She said 6 months in and is looking for a babysitter. Like,
Drake and Doechii are probably the two people I'm expecting to drop. I'm hoping J. Cole gives us something this year.
Yeah.
I would stop bullying that mixed breed boy and let him come back outside. Because now we about to start singing "Stoop, kids afraid to leave the stoop. Stoop, kids afraid to leave the stoop."
You know, I realized, and I think Tory Lanez dropped. I ain't gonna lie to you. I saw something earlier today. I ain't gonna laugh about it. I think Tory Lanez did drop.
Bruh, I ain't gonna lie to you. I fucked with Tory when he first came out, but boy, that man is so far off the radar. Well, I heard that. Ask you who?
He was like, "Who you talking about?" But I heard
that bald nigga.
And I heard he hit numbers on streams, bro.
Oh yeah, you know he's gonna have his core audience.
Yeah, he heard 30 million streams when he first dropped. That's what I believe he dropped. I didn't know. Like, really and truly,
I thought they took that nigga phone away so he can't record.
I don't know. All Chicks taped out now on every platform.
Yeah.
Oh, this was 2 weeks ago.
Well, hey, shit, see? But that's just the way it's going nowadays. Nobody promote. Well, he can't really promote. The nigga's in jail. Golly. But yeah, you know how it goes.
Nah, but
hey, you wanna? Since we got into some heavy stuff, let's hit the this or that.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
You could do with this, or you could do with that. You feel me?
Yeah.
You want to go, or you want me to go first?
Let's you go first.
All right.
Because I don't even think I'm ready to answer none of these.
See, I already know what it is. And this is our game, our thinking process, where we sit up here and give y'all scenarios. This is this or that. So today, let me find it. You feel me? Hold on.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Okay. So, for the first scenario for tonight, on this or that, I feel like I lost it.
Oh my boy. You want me to hit first?
Yeah, go ahead, because I gotta find mine's back.
Alright. So am I this or that question? Alright. So you can either do 10 years in prison and come out with financial freedom for life, or stay free but struggle financially for the rest of your life.
Financially struggle for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. So you either go to jail and come out straight as hell, or you go to jail, or you evade jail, but you basically live the way we live right now.
He said just live your current life as you is now.
Just keep going.
Keep going. You just gonna live this shit forever.
Swimming.
You just keep going.
Keep swimming. Yeah, which I guess forever means no opportunity to get straight. Yeah. So
I ain't gonna lie, 10-year sacrifice versus financial freedom.
I ain't gonna to me would mean I get $1 billion.
That's what I'm saying. You have opportunities out the wazoo for that one. That's how I'm looking at
Whatever
it. Because
financially
freedom is,
like,
so especially based on my own accord. If it's I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I might take them 10 years because to struggle forever, bro. Like when you sit down there and think about struggling forever, that means you are never getting on your feet. That means opportunities might come past you by, but you're making bad choices, bad decisions, and versus if I sacrifice 10 years, don't want to go to jail at all. But if I sacrifice 10 years, but I came back with the wisdom of being financially free, sad to say, I'd rather that. Because at the end of the day, I know after all of this, the sacrifice that I made for that 10 years, I'm coming back to a better me, a better position, a better situation versus I'm still trying to get this over. I'm still trying to grasp myself. Yeah, I'm free, but technically you're not free because you're still fucking up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're still going through the same cycle forever. Until you die, you're still struggling. Like no matter what, there is no comeuppance on this situation. There is no door that's opening. There is no there is no goal at the end of the rainbow in this bitch. You're just gonna keep running on this rainbow and there's nothing there. It's just pure clouds and rainstorms. You're free though.
You Goku running to Kami. All that long ass dragon.
My god, this would be the worst Genjutsu ever, bro. Like you just repeating the same bullshit over and over, bro.
Well, look, all right. So because I sit here and think, I'm like, man, financial freedom sounds blessed, but at the cost of 10 years. So, like I said, $1 billion for 10 years of my life, basically. Mm-hmm. That's 10 years, not only of my life, of my girl's life,
of your kid's life.
Kid's life. So I got 3 kids, so that's 30 years right there. And then my girl, that's another 40, and then not even crazy. Mentioning all the people I love. So am I willing to give up?
Where you get that math from? Wait, hold on.
I'm saying like I'm paying that much time from each individual person to get $1 billion. Yeah. 10 years per person, plus all the other people I love and all the other people that depend on me.
My boy, that's like 100 years.
Exactly.
You add it up.
So is $1 billion worth 100 years? You know what I'm saying? In my mind, right? So I think about it like that. But if I fuck around and get $1 billion, hey y'all, look, I gotta go. I'm gonna be gone for 10 years. Saying. But when I get out, we're gonna be able to live this life that we want to live.
Yeah, we good.
But you know me, I think deep, and I know that. I'm like, the passage of time is a motherfucker, though.
It is,
and you in the prison system.
That's true.
You go in one way, come out one way. Yeah, you know. Yeah. And if prison is anything like I'm watching on Mayor of Kingstown, fuck you. Shout out to y'all, everybody that went to prison and came back, boy.
Bro. But the one thing I can say, like I've never been, but the one thing I could say too, there is a lot of success stories from that. You know what I mean? People that went through the system and came out and they did change their lives. You know what I mean? Start new careers. We even talked about it here on the podcast where he had that one guy, he went in, I think it was a murder charge or something he went on, and he changed his whole life, he read books, learned about business, and now he's a multimillionaire. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I guess this is the mindset I'm taking on it, in the sense of it is 10 years of my life, and that, like you said, it's not just my life, it's my wife's life, it's my kids' lives that I'm missing, and whatever the case may be. And you know, you might get flack for it. No shit, you might get flack for it. But to turn around and change your life, it's like you got put into a 10-year timeout where you're sitting down there and you have to really consider, like, all right, cool, this is 10 years. What are you going to do with your life in 10 years? You either going to sit up here and just be miserable, or you're going to actually learn some shit. Yeah. You're actually going to do something with yourself, because now is no...
Well, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
The prison system, There's one thing for sure is I don't know any. I haven't heard a story yet where somebody said they didn't have to be affiliated while they were in prison. So what game you running with?
I don't know.
They come to you and be like, "Hey, you gotta get put down." Hey, heart check off rip.
Oh, bro.
You know what a heart check is?
No, I don't.
Oh my God, heart check is when you get put on.
Out here struggling, bro.
Heart check when you go to jail is your skin color. From what I've understood, I've never been to prison, so excuse me, all you prisonites that hear what I'm saying and correct me in the comments.
I was like, correct this in the comments if we're wrong. You know what I mean?
Heart check is when you get put on a tier or you get put on your unit or whatever. You know, you're gonna have people. And maybe this is for affiliated people already, but you know, they gonna get you into a corner or something, and about 3 dudes. You gotta fight for however many minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that's definitely some affiliate stuff.
Yeah.
But like you go in there, you gonna have to fight for that time, however long it is, just to see if you gonna be if you tough enough. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, I'm pretty sure they kick you off the unit and make you go, make you stand up with the other guys, you know, the ones that are not to be named, you know, in there that are in jail, and then you ain't got no protection, you got none of that, you know, all that stuff going on.
Yeah,
you got to remember, if prison is a place full of what the world likes to call criminals, so people who will take your shit or cause you bodily harm. So you got to remember that when you're going in, you know.
Based off of this, and I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know. But I'm also taking it from the definition of comedian Ali Siddiq, where he says things that we see on TV, sometimes is not what is portrayed in real life.
See, heart checks, I heard in real life.
That's what I'm saying. You heard. I haven't heard. Prison. But
because if you get down with a set, they definitely
that's
gonna
what I'm
test
saying.
you.
Do I have to though?
Well, see, the thing is, unless you go in there, look, I guess this is the scenario, which we're a little bit away from this or that. Go with it. Go with it. Walk with us down the journey. So, I'm guessing the scenario kind of is like, in real life, obviously, you go in there and you say, I'm not affiliated with nobody. Yeah, you can get out and come back in. And if you generate enough respect from somebody, I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna mess with you.
Yeah.
And if I'm pretty sure there is people in prison right now who don't fuck with nobody. They stay out their way. They do what they gotta do. They trying to do their time, get out of there peaceful, and people respect that. And so if they see somebody messing with you, they gonna step up for it. Like, hey man, he ain't like that, man. Leave him the fuck alone, man. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it also depends on. In thinking of humans,
like the unit that you in,
unit and all that. So
and that all depends on what you're going out for too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Niggas say you just going to jail so you can get this money. You don't really got to charge. Oh yeah, niggas gonna be like, "What you in here for? Some money." They said if I sit in here for 10
years, you know what I mean. If I do 10, I'll be good.
Oh man,
I don't know. Like when you see, you gotta just go deep with this shit. Like
I'm just putting all the shit on the table.
I'm just looking at it as, and you know, what I mean, it may be just fantasy to me, but I'm just looking at it. I just want to be peaceful. Like I don't want to be affiliated with nobody. I would pick up whatever job, even if it's just lunch and dinner, like trays and whatever the case may be, whatever it is.
Trustee,
hey, bro, I'll be there. Like, you know what I mean?
Can I work in the library?
Really, I'll work in the library. You know what I mean? I'll be the librarian type shit. You know what I mean? Just to get out of it, just to find peace. Because at the end of the day, like I said, the way I'm looking at it, and it could be false situations for me personally. It could be just a false narrative that I'm just thinking of because I've never been in that system. I don't know nothing about it to come and say what's true and what's not true.
Facts. Me neither. I got people who I know have been locked up, and I got, you know, just what I know from off the street or whatever. But At the end of the day, I don't got my own experience, so this
is just all
me talking out my ass.
This is just all fantasy play. But at the end of the day, like I said, for me, if it was, I can't say affiliation because I don't. It's something I've never done before. You know what I mean? And I don't see myself just because I went to prison doing it because I didn't do it out here in real life.
There's one thing that I heard get people to leave you alone, and this is from a nigga that did some years. If you ain't with somebody, better be deep in religion. He said religion will keep motherfuckers off of you.
I'll be in my faith because that's where I'm at now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'll be deep in my faith with it and just get closer to God more and more. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, based off of these past few years, I've been more deep diving into my own faith and my own beliefs and everything like that. Praying to Him every morning, thanking Him for everything. And stuff like that. So I feel like that's the route I would take for the 10 years and continuing forward, not just because it's 10 years, but just for me, like in that situation, just for me not to have to deal with BS.
I can low-key see you 10 years, 10 years now you be 42.
Hey, brother.
You be beating pies. No, not beating pies. That's. But I can see you if you was in jail for 10 years. You'd be the old school that be in there trying to talk to them young bucks.
I ain't gonna lie because that's how I am now, bro.
Yeah, you be like, look at brother.
Look at brother.
You ain't got to do all this. Yeah, come on.
You know what I mean?
Think about it. Do you really want more time on your shit?
Like, come on, brother. We only here for good.
Got the one gray dread.
He said that man got wisdom on him.
His beard just got this long. He said, all of a sudden, his eyes got bad. He need glasses. Got the prison glasses.
But hey, man, it'll come with wisdom though, because when you sit down, he's like, yo, that man over there. When you want some advice, he'll give you some good advice. Like, yo, he really don't be in nobody's business. He stay out the way. When things be happening out here, he stay in his corner. He be sitting there like in this, like, hey, man. I don't care what y'all want to say it as. That's how I am, bro. I don't deal with conflict. I ain't really a conflicted person unless it arrives at my door. Then that's a different situation. Yeah. But besides that, if I don't have to be in it, I would avoid it at all costs. You feel me? And that's what I would do. To be honest, be more deep in my faith and go that route with it.
Now I got my 10 years. Yeah. See, so me. All right, I'll give my official answer before I shut the F up. I don't know. If I'm a struggle, I'd rather struggle with the people that I'm around with it, I guess. We make the best out of it.
Yeah.
We make the best out of what we got. You know what I'm saying? We ain't rich, we ain't poor, but we got what we got. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we still seem to have a good time. I just feel like 10 years, that my eldest son is 4 years old. He would be 14. My youngest son would be 10, and my daughter would be getting ready to be 20. That would be insane to me.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I said. That would be that's where a
lot of moments missed of me being there as a dad, and I think if I think about it, I would, as a dad, it's hard because I want to set my kids up. If I know, hey, y'all let me go away for 10 years, y'all write me, y'all come visit me, whatever, keep me in tune, whatever.
That's all.
And when I come out, we get to live like kings and queens. We can fucking buy a continent if we want.
And that's what I said. That's. I think that's why I looked at it as, because at the end of the day, it's not me being on a selfish situation.
Yeah, it's sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice that I'm making for them, because at the end of the day, yes, my youngest one is only going on 5 months old, and so by the time 10 years, he'll be damn near going on 11.
Mm-hmm.
But I rather, by the time I come out, he don't have to suffer. He don't have to go through what I go through.
Mm-hmm.
My daughters and my eldest son don't have to go through what they go through. Mm-hmm. I know they might look at me and go like,
there's gonna be a lot of conversations.
There's gonna be a lot of conversations on it, and they might not even agree with me on it. You feel me? And that's the truth. Even my wife might not even agree with me on it. She rather will go through the struggle. But I'm looking at it in the sense of, I'd rather us be, like we said, we just put a number on $1 billion. Financial freedom is whatever you seen grace is, or whatever is what your financial freedom is. And
boy, you better not do 10 years for no 200.
No. Fuck that.
Yeah, 200,000.
If you're doing 10 years for 200,000, bro, you just go get go Go get your CDL.
Get a good hustle.
Go get a good hustle out here. No, bro. But at the end of the day, the reality is whatever y'all financial freedom money is, that's what y'all believe in. We are talking about millions and billions of dollars. Like, I'm talking about financial freedom with the fact that if I come out here, I'm Gucci, I could travel, I could do what I want to do. My kids are set up where the fact of the matter is
I never got to worry about what I buy.
Yes. I could swipe my card and go like, sing. Yeah, that's all you hear.
I just spent 10 grand on on a new whip, easy. You know what I'm saying? I just got the whole motherfucking front end fixed up. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah. You feel me?
Financial freedom. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to worry about it no more. You feel me? If you say $1 trillion, hell, shit, I will sit on that too. Like, fuck it.
All right, trillion. Sorry, kids. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to hate me.
You gonna hate me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We gonna be good. You gonna be all right when we get out. I'll make it up to you because I'm gonna live forever with $1 trillion. Yeah, I'm gonna find a way for them to put whatever they need in me. But see, and that's, I think the sacrifice, like I was getting to, the sacrifice is what I lay my life down for 10 years for my family, and I know they'll be good. Never have to worry about anything, or do I say fuck it and stick around because I know at the end of the day that I'm gonna be there for them, and maybe they don't care about all that. And when they get older, they be like, "Man, I didn't care about all that. I just wanted you."
You there, yeah.
You know, it's like a catch-22 right there.
It's that scale balance. You know what I mean? Is a scale.
I would love and this is why I'm going to just give a non-answer, is because a part of me is like, fuck yeah, I would do that for my kids. But then another part of me is like,
I'm gonna miss a lot of things.
Fuck like, yeah, I'd do that for my kids. I'd make sure, fuck it, if we broke. But one way or the other, look, I'm gonna tell you like this: no matter what you do, you fucking your kids up. One way or the other.
Either way,
yeah, niggas grow up poor all the time, and you just look how motherfuckers turn out.
Said that's how they become these artists and shit.
Yeah, or look, you get a motherfucker that grew up in a poor family, he go get millions, never talk to his family ever again.
Shit,
that'd be my youngest. I already know.
He said he already look like he
already be looking at us like, man, y'all broke motherfuckers.
Golly, what y'all got me going through?
How I get born in this fucking house? So anyway, I'm gonna give a non-answer because I can't choose. But it's hard. That's a tough one.
It is.
If you look at it in those
perspective, it is a hard one. Mm-hmm. But like I told y'all, I'd rather sacrifice and make sure that they're good at the end of the day, because I don't want them, especially based off of society and how everything's going, inflation and everything. I'd rather them be set for life. I'd rather them be good and don't have to worry about it. And at the end of the day, you know what I mean, when you get that money off of that, I can make sure that they're Gucci.
Low key, if I think sitting down for 10 years, I think you can fix that. Now, see, I'm trying to justify it. I'm trying to justify the 10 years. I'm trying to justify it in my brain, but my brain is like, nah, you gonna miss the football games.
You gonna miss the birthdays and all that, and especially Kenzie going to college and all that.
You never know. Your girl alone for 10 years, she might get a little boot thing or something on the side. Well, how you know?
Facts.
Yeah. You come home and they like, Uncle Rick. Yeah, Uncle. Who's the fuck is Uncle Rick? Who's Uncle Javante? Yo, the truth really starts coming out
after a while. Man, listen. Yeah. But I got one for you.
All right, yeah.
we gonna change courses.
Keep it pushing. Uncle Javante.
Like, who the fuck is this? Like, I never met him before. He's like, yeah, you know, this is what happened. He's like, nah.
Nah, this is our new neighbor. He moved into the house.
The house next door. He's like, don't tell me that bullshit. Yeah. But here's mine. Your partner inspires your art, but drains your peace, or gives peace, but kills your hunger. What you got? So you have as a creative, you have a partner that's backing you. They inspire everything that you do. But at home, you are miserable as fucking hell. They drain all your peace. Versus your partner brings you peace, but your creativity and all that is killed. You're pretty much, as in your sense, as you being an artist, and this is what you dream, this is what it is. It's done. It kills all of that.
I'm gonna tell you this.
What you want?
I got a straight up answer for this.
What you got? What you got?
Give me the one that drains my peace. Cause when I make it big, I'm leaving it. I'm just to go
you said I'm gonna get my financial freedom.
Yeah. I'm just to pull up on somebody else famous and be like, hey, I'm joking and all, but at the end of the day, like, my creativity is who I am.
Yeah.
So if I lose my creativity, I'm just a shell. I'm just a robot and a drone. And there's people living that.
Yeah, that's facts.
That's the crazy thing.
There's a lot of people living that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, I agree with you on that one. Like, at the end of the day, I understand I love peace, but then there's gonna be somebody there that's gonna bring me peace.
And the great content you can get out of that,
bro.
the inspired songs you get from the no peace and the chaos.
All that, everything that y'all been through, it inspires all your creativity, and they could be your best hits and all that type of shit, best albums, and like, damn, like. I'd rather do that because the creativity, well, it may be selfish if y'all want to look at it. It's selfish as fuck.
I wasn't going to say that.
I don't give a fuck.
Motherfucker was like, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, yo, you really want to put your best foot forward in what you believe in. We talked about it earlier in the podcast. Like, you got to chase your dreams no matter what it is, no matter what time of period you are in your life. And at the end of the day, I'd rather chase my dreams, even if my partner is sitting up there, they inspired all of that, but they don't bring me peace. At the end of the day, they inspired all the greatness that came after that. And once, like Archie said, once you're successful,
deuces.
You feel me?
You know how many dope little voicemails you can record,
bro.
You know, Drake type voicemails where the girl's acting crazy on the phone, and you can use that as a oh my god,
bro.
People eat that shit up too.
Man, listen,
yeah, boy.
Like, fuck you, nigga, you didn't do this and all of a sudden this has become a hit because that shorty wasn't shit. Like, at the end of the day, I'd rather that.
No peace.
Mm-hmm. Like, fuck that. I'd rather be the best me than be a shell of who I am. And that's the fact of the matter is I'd rather be the best me than be the shell of who I am. And just sit up there and go back to that same conversation. Well, I could have done this, but I settled because, I want to think, nah, bro, sometimes you gotta, that's another sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice for the better of you. Because
sacrifices, for real.
And that's the truth about it. You have to sacrifice for the better of you. Because at the end of the day, like we always say, we came into this world by ourselves, and sometimes you leave this world by yourself. And at the end of the day, I'd rather be the best me. I'd rather say I chased my dreams and said I could have chased my dreams.
You know what? That just made me think. No, never mind. I'm not even gonna say it because you know what? I'm just going back and forth in my head with it. But at the end of the day, yeah, I'm choosing
me.
No peace because at the end of the day, crazy enough as it sounds, I can't lose myself. I've seen too many people walking around who have stories about their dreams and their goals, but they let the chaos in their lives consume them, where they're just a shell of themselves, or they've settled and they are happy and they are this and that, but you can see in the back of their eyes there's like a person help.
And it's funny because
you know what I'm saying?
What's funny about that is because me and my wife has watched, what you call American Monsters, is the murder stories, mm-hmm. or whatever on HBO, and it was one story, where he was same thing like us, musically gifted, and whatever the case may be, he came across a girl, and this girl pretty much brought chaos to his life, and he was going to school. He was a bright young man, was going to school, met this girl. Once this girl entered his life, everything that everybody's seen him doing or whatever, because even his cousin was like, yo, he could eat up this TikTok situation now the way it was and everything like that. But God rest his soul, he lost his life during this whole situation. But he gave up him just to love her. He gave up himself and he gave up the things that he believed in, because at one point he was producing, and at one point he was producing people, and I think this was in Atlanta, if I'm correct, don't quote me on it, but he was musically gifted. His parents seen it from when he was growing up into this, and because he gave himself to her just to try to love her and show her love that she never got, it eventually he ended up losing his life over the situation. Yeah. But it's like when you watch a situation like that, you also sit back and think like, damn, if he had left her alone, he could have been number one, still alive, and number two, he could have been well off because he believed in himself and he knew what he had. He had the talent to be an artist, a great artist, and even a producer, because he was producing people's beats. He was doing beats. He was producing people's albums and stuff like that, underground albums. But because of her agenda, he ended up cutting all of that.
Well, and you know what I mean? You know, and that kind of topic adjacent, but like, we all know a guy that's been like coochie whipped. Mm-hmm. We all know a guy, and you're like, bro, you were not you
at all.
You see this guy one day, and this nigga wearing flip flops and some fucking what they call it, capris, because his girl say he looked good in it, and you like, yo,
what happened?
What happened, bro? Yeah, or you see the dude. And now all of a sudden he happy, but the light ain't in his eyes, or you know what I'm saying. We've all seen that story where the girl comes in and takes over their life, and I'm pretty sure,
and even vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa. Vice versa too, because there's a lot of. I hope there's some females that listen to this podcast.
There's a lot of
female artists, and that you see in your homegirl. Get with a dude and he take over her life. At the end of the day, I think that is dangerous. To me, that's the most dangerous thing.
That is.
You lose your identity over somebody else. You lose yourself. You all of a sudden start doing all this changing because of somebody else. I can see changing if somebody comes into your life and elevates you and make you a little bit better. When I say that, I mean all the way around. Everything that I am, you make better. So that includes my music. That includes my peace. That includes my happiness. That includes my finances. I can see being like, nah, my girl got me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything that I've had has gotten better since I've been with her. But boy, losing yourself.
Yeah.
If you losing yourself in a relationship, man, how many guys out there right now are sitting there like, fuck. There was a rock band I was supposed to be.
There's a lot, bro.
And then it's like fucking Metallica or some shit like
There's
that.
There's a lot.
You know, like I used to play. They sitting there they're going to be telling their green. I used to play backup for Fallout Boy, but you know what I did, and then they're like, okay, Grandpa or whatever, but. At the end of the day, there's so many stories like that where it's like, man, they didn't follow their dreams. They didn't, and they settled down, and now they're in some fucking old person home with Alzheimer's,
bro.
You know what I mean?
That's facts.
I'm just saying. For me, at the end of the day,
I'd rather follow my dreams, bro. Because at the end of the day, We often settle, and that's the truth about it. We often come to a period of point where sometimes we feel like our dreams is slipping away. And it's not the fact that it's slipping away a lot of the times. It's the fact of the matter is you put the priorities of your dreams end up being, how can I put it? End up being wrapped around other people or other things that the fact of the matter is you sit back and go like, all right, cool. Like, I can't do this no more. I understand it when it comes down to athletes. That's a different situation because if you want to become an NFL star and you don't got it, and no matter how much you try, you might not make it. And I get it. Like, there's certain stipulations when it comes down to following your dreams where you have to sit back and realize, all right, cool, it's not going to happen. And I get that part. But there's other dreams where the fact of the matter is it's still attainable. Where even as we see it as artistry, like what we talk about it here as a rapper, as an artist, there's so many different outlets that when you put out your music, there's somebody's going to listen to it. Mm-hmm. There's somebody's going to be attracted to that music, and whatever case. Same thing as an artist, as a painting wise, as one of them when you become a painter, or if you become a tattoo artist or whatever the case may be. All of these things is still attainable as long as you put your best foot forward and put your efforts in it. Athletes is a different stipulation because based off it is you versus a bunch of thousands of people. And the reason why that's not really self-attainable because at the end of the day, you have to depend on the NFL or the NBA or whatever.
Think about that one guy. You just made me think. That one young guy, I can't remember his name, but everybody was on him because his girl used to go to parties without him while he was focusing on his dream and this and that, and then he still ended up wifing her up. And then I don't know if this is a rumor.
On the Vikings?
No. I can't remember. He was in college last year. At the beginning of last year, he got drafted. He got drafted in the NFL.
Is this the one where you talking about where everybody was telling him like, yo, she's about to be a leech instead of? Mm-hmm. I feel he's on the Vikings. I believe
he might be, but I'm saying like. And then sooner or later, there was a rumor. I don't know how real the rumor is. So if I'm spreading rumors, correct me in the comments. But as soon as he got his deal, supposedly shit fell apart. You know what I'm saying? Like you threw away yourself in some aspect because you have these feelings for this girl, and you to the point where you don't realize what's going on around you. And this person has just been using you the whole time just to get to their goal because they thinking about themselves. They ain't thinking about you.
Yeah.
They gonna do what they gotta do just to get by. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So,
as I said, you just rather follow it and be for yourself. Like I said, to me, everything that you do is for you. Mm-hmm. Until you find a partner that is supporting you and also doing her own thing or his own thing or whatever, or the fact that they will support you is like the same amount of support that you give them, then yeah, bro, like you shouldn't allow nobody to stop you. Mm-hmm. And that's the fact of the matter is you shouldn't allow nobody to stop you from attaining that dream. Like the only person, like we said earlier, the only person that can make excuses for you is you. Yeah. The only person that can stop you is you at the end of the day. That's the only reason why I give only athletes, because that's a different breed of a situation of that. And I know there's people that will sit up there, and there is still opportunities, because even if they don't make it to the NBA or the NFL or anything like that, they will still go overseas and they still become successful. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that they don't. There's still people that go to Italy and become do the European League and the Chinese League, and they still become successful. You know what I mean? Once they got that door open for them and they see the opportunity come through and they can still do what they love, and you see as the monetary values of it, and you go like, okay, I could still do this. They still chase that dream and they still become, and they still happy. You know what I mean? Continue to do that. You know what I mean? Nothing should stop you from attaining that. And then you look back at yourself and you go like, damn, bro, I could have done this. This could have been me. Like you could look at a comic book and it's like, damn, I had this idea already. I could have done this. You could have done that. You should have done that. Mm-hmm. Just continue doing it. Somebody's going to pick up that comic book and look at you like, I fucks with this. I like what you're doing. Continue going. And that one person could turn to 2, 2 turns to 4, 4 turns to 8, and it continues doubling and tripling up. Don't stop. That's why when I agreed upon that, I'd rather go through, you inspired me, but you don't bring me peace, because all that inspiration that you gave me made me a better man and made me a better artist. And at the end of the day, I thank you, but you know, it made me do what I gotta do, and if it's too toxic, deuces, I gotta go.
I ain't the man for relationship advice, because Lord knows I'm still growing and learning. But what I have learned and what I have grown into is find somebody that can be your peace, but also
be your inspiration
with you in your chaos and can inspire you. You know what I'm saying?
Finesse.
You also, if you find yourself in a chaotic situation, you always got to ask yourself, do I love this person enough to deal with this?
Remember, y'all got the final say.
Yeah. Am I with this person because I care about them, or is it because some selfish reason I don't want to be alone?
Facts.
I think it's important that you ask yourself these questions. Even I know we got to this point off of this or that, but at the same time, I think it's important. Every relationship in your life you should evaluate every now and then. Just like I was talking about last pod, doing self-evaluation on myself. Sometimes you got to evaluate the things around you too. Sometimes you need a little inventory. Check in on it. Check in on that relationship. What's going on with this relationship? Let me write it down. Let me put pen to pad. Whatever. Bro. But in outside of this or that thing, man, if you sitting out there looking at this and you sat down and settled and gave up your dreams, ask yourself why. Put pen to pad, because I know you got a little resentment sitting in there. And if you're the type of motherfucker who just like crazy people, just to hey man, just do like some evaluation on yourself. Because maybe you need a little checking on.
You need to check yourself a little bit.
There may be some shit to sweep out that closet.
Man, some people like toxicity. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some people really do like toxicity, even if they don't want to. How can you put it? Even if they don't want to agree, they kind of put themselves in a lot of toxic situations.
I definitely know some people who love to argue,
bro. And in the I've grown out of the argumentative state. I'd rather talk and let's have a conversation versus arguing. And
they be like, I don't know, it make the better.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but hey, I'm a big advocate of inventories. Check in on your relationships and check in on yourself.
Yeah, that's a fact.
All right.
I want to ask you a question because I know you brought it up. This is a conversation we had off of air when it came down to artistry and what considers you to be a great artist. And the one thing I've always heard, the name that always came up a lot of times was Andre 3 Stacks, where the fact that a lot of people don't consider him a great artist because he's never done a solo album. So to me, I'm asking you, should that, because you never done a solo album, you've done albums because you've been in a group, you've took part of a group and you've done groups and you've done banging verses, should that, because you never went solo, should that take you out of the race of, or anything, or the highlight of you being a great artist?
I don't think so. Me personally, like, if half the time when I think of a great artist, I think of you. I'm like, okay. When I think of a person's creative mindset, I think to me, my opinion is the creative mindset and the way you use your pen is what makes you a great artist. That's what lands you in my top 5.
Yeah.
Outkast has been a theme throughout my whole life.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard Andre 3000 and Big Boy my whole life. I personally feel Big Boy is underrated, and while people are out here saying 3 Stacks is overrated, people aren't even like his counterpart. Like, they don't even add him to the conversation, which is crazy to me. But let me get back to the main point. Like I said, I think Big Boy is underrated, but so many good verses comes from duos, and you may think, oh well, this, that, and the third, but like there is, for me, I'm gonna put it like this. With Andre 3 Stacks, I done heard enough of him featured or just verses on other people's stuff that just cleared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He wiped the song. Nobody's listening. Boy, nobody's listening to his features. Nobody's listening to the features he does for the artist that he's featuring for. They're listening for Andre 3 Stacks.
Yeah.
When you say song dropping with Andre 3K, they don't care about you no more.
Facts.
They care about the 3 Stacks verse.
Yeah.
They want to know what he's going to rap about. To me, once you hit that part,
It's a great artist.
Yeah, what do you mean? He's one of the best lyricists in the world.
That's a fact.
And so for me, I guess when it comes down roundabout like any artist, to me, how rememberable. There you go. I said it right the first time. Rememberable are you? How well do you treat the craft? And you know what? Honestly, I don't care if you drop 1,000 mixtapes, 1,000 fucking albums, or just one or two. If I don't remember your tracks, what's the point?
Yeah.
But I bet you, every time you put an Andre feature on, everybody rapping that thing,
bro.
Everybody is. So that lets you know. I mean, if I would have dropped a solo, none of y'all would have been able to mess with me.
That's a fact.
And that's just that's just the way I see it. And to me, that's GOAT status for real, because I never even had to drop my own.
That's facts.
And I can clear y'all with one verse. I can clear y'all with one verse on one song.
And you see, I'll look at it as, to be real, we came in as a duo. We started this as a duo. If my mindset of it is like how we say it as us. If we started this as ADHE and all we've done was ADHE projects, does that not consider us as great artists because all we did was duo situations? Even if he didn't have solo albums, he had albums because he was part of this album. You feel me?
His creative thought process
went into it. Same thing as Big Boy's creative process went into it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like when people come and say, "Oh, I can't consider him that," or I have to take him off of
Rory,
off of your list.
My bad, I sneezed.
Because he never had a solo. To me, that's just a selfish solo. That's just a selfish preference, because you're kind of discrediting his years and his career because he chose not to do so, but he done it when he was a duo with Big Boy. He done it in Outkast.
Let me ask you this also. In every documentary you've ever seen about hip hop, and when they bring up the Southern hip hop,
Outkast is one of them that they always
put
list.
Southern hip hop on the main stage. And what famous words by a famous person is a
the South
tribute
got
to
something to say.
And who said that out their mouth?
Andre 3 Stacks.
All right.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
All right. Okay.
First and foremost, and we talking about it, but Hey Ya was him. Even though it was an Outkast track, Hey Ya was him.
Was just him. One of the biggest
songs.
Y'all don't hear me. Y'all just want to dance.
Yes.
He told you. He told you already. You ain't listening to me. You just want to jig.
Bro.
You just want to hit the Dougie.
Come on, man.
Boy, I just aged myself. I'm sorry.
Yo, to me, the real shit about this is we shouldn't have stipulations of what a great artist is, bro. You got to go off of their catalog and what they've done.
Great music is
great music based off of their career. It shouldn't take me saying I did a solo album, because to me, the personal thing about this is, what was that going to change? Even if he did one solo album, what was that going to change for that? It just shines that he could stand alone and do what he got to do.
The South would have been some hippie Southern niggas. If Andre dropped a solo album, niggas would have never went trap. Niggas would have been talking about granola and flowers and flutes, nigga.
And he did a solo album. He just didn't rap on it.
Niggas would have been out here talking about all types of different shit because Andre would have been RJZ.
Yeah, bro.
I'm just gonna put it out there. That's my take. If Andre would have went solo, he would have been the South's Jay-Z.
You can't take it away from him.
Lyrical genius.
The only solo album he did was a flute album, so he technically have a solo album.
Well, I guess you can say because they both did their own speaker box and Love Below.
Yeah, that was them. Yeah, when they was going on that situation. Yeah.
And when you think about it, they had already hit the stratosphere already. I'm just saying, like, just the wordplay. I'm being funny and all this and all that, but wordplay. Andre 3000 it's almost like you're getting a sit down and your personal talk when you hear Andre flow, and then the way he decides to put metaphors and all this stuff together, you're like, oh my god. And there's a reason why all his features are so cold.
Yeah.
There's a reason why people want him to feature on a song. It's not because yes, the man is a great rapper. It's because they know Andre's on this bitch. This bitch is I'm supposed to get people who ain't never listened to my music to listen to my music.
And the fact about it is that once you, like you said, once you hear Andre's on it, you want to listen. I'm sorry. Like, once you hear he's on a track, instantly you're like, I gotta check this out. He's one of them. Like, you're instantly like, yeah, let me go check this out. Because he's on the track, you already know. So to me, to say that your consideration of him is not a great artist because of a album versus the reality of it is once you see his name on that marquee of somebody's album, you're like, oh shit, that is one of the artists that you're gonna listen to. You're like, I gotta hear him. It's just like when you say Nas is on the album, it's featured on somebody's album. You want to hear the track. You want to see what they about to say. You want to listen to their verse. No matter who they comparing it to, you want to hear that verse.
Because, like I said, he'd be the South's Jay-Z, but you know, I'm being facetious and shit. But he would also like. He carries the same weight as like niggas like Nas. Like, you know what I'm saying? He carries the same weight as like anybody else in old heads in hip hop who have left a mark. Let's talk about the South. Scarface. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get a Scarface feature, people gonna listen to it. They like, oh, he secured the bag. You know what I'm saying? You know, or like, I'm pretty sure you mess around and get a David Banner. Look, for the South, it's different. It's a little different. But, man, don't mess around and get Lil Jon to go say, yeah, on your stuff. Bro, but there's a certain level you hit, right? When you become something great. I feel like, lyrically wise, Andre 3 Stacks has proven over and over again, if he was to decide, I bet you he got a vault full of songs that he never released. All the way back from the 90s. I'm pretty sure this man got a vault of songs. Any musician does. Like, I remember being young, going to my mom's father's house. That man could play almost every instrument I could think of. And all he had on the wall was just these tapes. Just unreleased music. Unreleased music. Just him just doing stuff. Music that he's probably doing for other people. This and that. Stuff you in there. But... man, greats, man. I bet you go Andre right now. He gonna pull something out you ain't never heard, and then probably clear make you want to go back and rewrite your whole project,
bro.
Off of one verse.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know, that's just how I feel. So,
I just feel like, to me, don't let. I know this has been one of them podcasts where we just been telling the audience, hey man, don't listen to the outside crowd.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one.
Facts.
And they stink.
Real shit, it doesn't matter if you're part of a duo or solo, bro. Like, you put your best foot forward. And when people start not considering artists as best because they didn't do something on their own, that doesn't take away from the greatness that you have brought us. Especially if you had the longevity that they had. You know what I mean? Till this day, no matter they're not even together now, in a sense of they're not making music together now, but they still come up in conversations. They still come up and
bring up Outkast.
You have to. You feel me? No matter what, you still, and even with his name, you still bring his name up in conversations no matter what.
Niggas gave him a new name, 3 Stacks. Bruh, when Wayne was going on so was 3 Stacks. You just gotta remember. Selective memory is crazy. When Wayne was going on his
feature run, 3 Stacks was out there killing it, competing with Wayne at Wayne's hottest. Just think about that. 3 Stacks.
3 Stacks.
3 Stacks was killing it. Y'all, boys, leave me alone. I don't want to hear it out your mouth. Don't disrespect one of the OGs of the South. That man, if that man decided to get up off that flute and decide to pick up a pen again,
it would be a different situation.
Y'all be shutting up.
It would be a different
It'd
situation.
probably be one of the biggest
albums.
I had to load that B up because it'd be the biggest drops that would ever come.
Yeah,
it would probably clear a Drake drop. That's what I feel.
Because that's one thing everybody been waiting for years. That is one thing. Just one album. In that situation,
and that's the type of nigga that he'd rap one song and then flute the rest. Give you a teaser. How many? I want to know. I don't know the numbers, but how many streams first day that it dropped that his flute album get? Because niggas thought he was gonna rap. You can go look it up.
That's a good question.
Let's get the numbers out there. How many first day streams did that motherfucker get?
Let me see.
First day, just day one, did Andre 3 Stacks get when it was just a flute album and everybody thought we were going to get some bars from that man? We go figure it out. Because Jesus Christ, y'all going to stop playing with Andre. Man, and I get it. A lot of NY dudes, they don't respect Southern hip hop. And I understand that. You never got it. You grew up in a different environment. But at the end of the day, bro, you gotta respect the hustle, the grind, and the push that Outkast had, and the reach that Outkast had. Man, to put a whole region on, it's insane, bro. You got something over there?
Let me see. So, Andre's 3000's instrumental album New Blue Sun accumulated over 3.2 million streams on Spotify in its first full day of release.
One day! There's some of these rappers right now that can't even get 50K. So let's stop. Let's stop with the nonsense. That was the first day on streaming. Just think if he was rapping and it was the craziest album you ever heard. I need y'all to stop playing with me. Stop. Niggas is making these takes for podcasts. I already know. You want to get views. I get it. But niggas is making takes for podcasts. Boy, good Lord.
3.2 mil. No matter if it's
24 hours.
24 hours. Off of the first day, off of a flute album. Because once again,
this nigga pulling Drake and Kendrick numbers in the beef.
Bro.
Yeah, niggas off of just YouTube.
And just think about it. And that's Spotify.
Yeah.
So that's just Spotify alone.
Matter of fact, they weren't even pulling them numbers during the beef. Off of first day release.
Because, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all was expecting it. And y'all got a flute album. And it's even if it's 3.2 mil, that's still a lot. You know what I mean? In the streaming world, that's still a lot. 3.2 mil. Yes, it didn't hit 30 mil. It didn't hit 40. But it didn't go into the thousands like 100, 500,000, 750,000. Y'all was expecting something. And just be real, if this wasn't a flute album, come on, bro. First day, especially how the word of mouth goes, if it wasn't a flute album, you go like, yo, Andre spitting. Yo, that 3.2 might be 32 mil, 50 mil, because there's a lot of people that was expecting that.
Just off Spotify alone. That ain't even Apple numbers. That ain't nothing else. That ain't YouTube. That's just Spotify.
And what's crazy about it is, for people that think that everybody wanted to listen to what the fuck this flute album was. No matter if you had grievances with it, if y'all liked it or didn't like it.
Straight meditation.
Yo, y'all still wanted to know what this was. It's like, y'all can't be shitting me. It's one of them things like, you bullshitting, right?
I ain't gonna lie, the biggest catfish in history. Oh my God, the biggest catfish in history. But it would have been, it would still be charting.
Mm-hmm.
It would still be charting. That's my opinion. But I think, yeah, if Andre 3 Stacks dropped.
It's just one of them. It's just one of them albums. To me, Andre is one of them that is when it comes down to it, because you never got it, and to finally hear it, that album would go. Because at the end of the day, you never know if you're going to get a second one. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, from generations of it, we all wanted it. As selfish as fans as we are, we all wanted it. So if he had dropped a complete album, even if it's 15 songs, even if it's 12, even if it could be like a small EP of 7, 8, 5 songs, you wanted it, because this is an Andre release that was just
Gen
him.
X and millennials alone, off the street. Gen X got to grow up with Outkast when they got to see the beginning. They got to bump those records when they first came out. Millennials, we were young, going through it. We found them, whatever. And then we got to witness a run in the early 2000s to 2010s that was like, yo, feature. And then
the last thing we got was what? The Donda? When Andre was on that Kanye song. That's
what I'm saying. Just think, bro. So just off of the strength of millennials and Gen X alone, bro, that album is getting bumped. Even if Big Boy dropped, a lot of y'all youngsters or everybody I promise you right now, Big Boy was to say.
Well, he did drop that one. He did drop a solo.
Not heavily promoted though.
But it was early 2000s. Cause I remember I bumped that song. I remember I bumped that when he dropped. He dropped that solo album.
I know Big Boy got some shits by himself too. Boy, definitely talking that playalistic pimp language that man be speaking.
Yeah, Boomerverse.
Yeah,
that was that. I don't know. He had the. What is it? No, I'll leave it there.
What year?
Boomerverse?
Yeah.
Boomerverse. Let me tell you right now.
Because if he drops something this year.
Nah, I don't think.
Or in the last 3 years, I'm going to be sitting here like sad. Because niggas need to put more respect on that man's name.
Nah, that was released. Boomerverse is the third solo. Oh. What's his third solo? Following Sir Lucius Left Foot, the son of Chico. That was 2010.
People know
and
that
Vicious Lies and Dangerous Rumors in 2012.
See,
Boomerverse came out in 2017.
I remember people talking about Sir Lucius. I remember people having conversation about it. I remember people listening to it. But like at the end of the day, I feel like even if Big Boy decided, hey man, don't let them decide to link up.
If we have another Outkast album.
But anyway,
that's just
maybe it's nostalgia for me, and maybe it's just because I love Outkast. Man, you don't even know, behind this camera there's an Outkast album we look at. One of their greatest.
Hey, this ATLiens, bro.
Yeah, don't play with us. Don't mess around. Don't talk. No, these ain't the right streets to be roaming around with them type of takes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nah, you fuck around and get sorry Miss Jackson to death. Yeah.
I am for real. And that ATLiens track, that was one of my favorite. I ain't gonna ATLiens itself. The self-proclaimed single from that ATLiens itself. That was my favorite song from them. Now throw your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care.
Yeah, boy, don't. Hey,
if you like fish and grits and
boy, I was like, shit. That's what I said. Hey, because I was like, damn, I'm about to start rapping the whole shit. Anyway, man, how long we been at it?
I don't know. We got one more.
You want?
If hip hop is in a creative peak or repetitive cycle. One more for them, boys. We got one more for them.
Yeah.
Last topic for the night. What do you think?
I think we're in a special place right now. That's what I think. And honestly, as an artist, because what is hip hop? You know, people want to. I always ask myself that. What is hip hop? Hip hop is its culture, right? Hip hop is the people opponent, right? Nobody expects hip hop to be breakdancing and all in spray painting in the big 2026, right? Hip hop has grown to be such this big cultural tentacle. You know what I'm saying? It's grown many tentacles. Let me put it like that. It's become to be this giant thing, right? And it has reach in almost every country around the world, right? I was about to say every world, boy.
That's how many worlds.
Yeah, multi-dimensional
shit.
But
you're on your Marvel shit, aren't you?
Yeah. But hip hop is in a place right now where I feel like everybody's playing follow the leader. So they're waiting for the new sound. And low key, that's what I feel like is going on right now. And that's why you got people like Doechii getting, you know, bashed on because maybe you didn't know Doechii and she blew up and you're sus about it, but she is unique and she's herself, right? She's a true artist of rap. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't like Drake, but he does his thing the way he does his thing in his art. It's his way. It's his way of expressing himself on his plane, right? He knows how to keep the young crowd energetic, right?
Yeah.
He knows how to keep the party lit and all that, right? All this stuff. But without there being a leader right now, I feel like hip hop is just in dead space. That's because all the sheep are waiting for somebody to pop out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, so at the end of the day, I don't feel like neither. Because it's not being creative right now. The only people who are creative are the underground.
Yeah. And
don't get me wrong, the underground is doing its thing, but you got to be tapped in to know about the underground. It's like drilling. It's like these rigs, man. You drill a surface well, but you ain't getting to the oil.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You just starting the well. So it's just starting the well is this mainstream shit. Like, there are underground people out here doing numbers that are making great music, making money doing this shit, and they ain't mainstream at all.
True.
You get what he's saying? Like, shit, Big Crit just dropped. You know what I'm saying? Creative, man. Creative. But nobody, who's talking about it? You didn't even get a mention on Joe Budden.
Barely.
Mm-hmm. Only person who mentioned him was Mark and everybody around him because they all New York niggas. Excuse my language. But they don't listen to Southern rap like that.
I can't give that I'm gonna put it like this. If you're an artist, to me personally, I can't give that an excuse. The reason why I'm not giving that an excuse because there's a difference from a fan, because based off of your region, versus when you're tapped into music. Because when we sit up here and talk about it, you can't come and miss the South and go to the West Coast and tell me what they're doing, but you can't hone in what the South is doing. Or from what the North is doing. Either way. Because at the end of the day, you're tapped in. If you want to claim that you're going to be music, like I'm from New York, you feel me? But I listen to Big X the Plug's album. I fucks with that album.
Yeah.
You feel me? I listen to Big Crit's album. I have favorite tracks from that album. You feel me? So at the end of the day, even I listen to the Clips album. These are Virginia boys. I fucks with that album. They close up there.
They close to
but
New York.
they still consider themselves the earlier regions of the South.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is this: if you're tapping into the music, we gotta tap in. Mm-hmm. We can't just sit up here and slide on the bitch because of whatever excuse you want to make for yourself. Mm-hmm. Crit been out here. Like I said, one of my favorite songs from Crit and I mean you talked about it. One of my favorite songs was Soul Food from Crit. I got put onto Crit when he actually came to New York and was on the Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. when he broke down the M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter, humpback, I was like, oh shit, that is, to me, that was like, whoa. I never thought of spelling Mississippi that way. If y'all didn't know, now y'all know. You feel me? I didn't think about it that way, but I like how he broke it down. And then Soul Food was my joint from him. And I'm not heavy like Archie is. I'm not heavy into Crit, but I always respected what he's done throughout his year, Cadillactica and all that. I respected what he's done, and I've always tapped in when I can, especially if I've learned that he's about to make an album. I'm gonna do it due justice. You feel me? Even off of this one, I always said it. My favorite song off of this was Precious Metal, because it just reminds me of, yo, fuck the bullshit. I'm about to cruise around. I'm about to have a good time, be in my own space, just driving in that whip. You feel me? Everybody's seeing me. No matter what the fuck is going on, I'm in my own space type shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think people misread that album. Because, yeah, he's talking about a car. But listen to it. Put your ears on, man. He's talking about cars, but he's talking about experiences in cars. Mm-hmm. But each song has its own meaning. Like even Precious Metal, right? I feel like, man, that song's way deeper than just car. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about way more. Maybe the car is a reference. Maybe the car is a metaphor for something.
I just look at it as a mindset.
Yeah,
while you there,
exactly. That's
the experience that you have while you in that precious metal. That experience that you have when you, because as car guys, especially when you from New York, you kind of idolize the car that you have. You take pride in the car, even in the South. You feel me? Even in the West Coast, when it came down to lowriders, everybody got them car emotions with the fact that there's that one car. Like for me personally, is like if I could ever get my dream car is a 71 Chevelle. You feel me? Like you gonna take pride in that car. When you sit in that car, the feeling that you have, no matter what you are going through in your personal, at your job, once you sit in that car and you take a cruise, you're like, damn. It's like it feels like all your worries and everything goes away. You feel me? Because you're in that. You're in your own moment. Doesn't matter if it's just a 15-minute drive. Doesn't matter if it's a 10-minute drive or even an hour drive. And it's crazy. I'm gonna reference this to even a wrestler, John Cena, when John Cena said he takes a moment where the fact of the matter is he hops in his whip and he puts that phone and he throws it in the backseat of his car and he just drives. He said, this is the moment I go into mom and pop stores, take a coffee, have a little conversation, and I drive from the sun up to the sun down. And I just take that moment to myself. After all the chaoticness of being in movies, wrestling, or whatever the hell he's doing, that's what that precious metal to me means. That moment where you're just by yourself behind the wheel and it's just you and the vehicle. Because we all said it. We work at it and we all talk to our cars like this, like, come on, girl. When the gas is going low and you about to try to hit that, you say, like, hey, man. You start talking to her like that's your shorty. Hey, baby. Come on, just make it there. I know what you're saying. I know what you're telling me.
$10.
It's like, I just need you to get to this next gas station. We got 10 miles to go.
Yeah.
That precious metal, because you appreciate that. And that's why I feel like, that's why for me, it always thing with me, because as a car guy, you sit back and when you in that vehicle, a lot of the times, no matter if it's your work truck or whatever, your personal or whatever, a lot of the times when you're in that moment and there's no worries, no stress, you sit down there and it's just you in the car. You just love hearing the rumbles. You're hearing everything. If you have the music blasting, you want to make sure everybody know your car bumping. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? No matter if it could be the shittiest of car or the luxurious of car, your car bumping because this is yours.
Yeah.
You feel me?
To move from A to B.
A to B, and you're just in that moment.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's why I feel like what Precious Metal brought out, like it's just for us car guys where you sit down there no matter what vehicle you in, especially something that you appreciate, you're sitting up there bumping that shit, you doing your thing and you just in your zone, bro.
So you know what, even for creativity, I feel like the underground is always doing what the underground is doing, right? The underground been doing this shit for years, man, and like even at the top of this, how we talked about La Russell. That man is creative. He's representing for the Oakland sound and all that. But I feel like
if we're talking mainstream, there's a dead space right now because everybody's waiting to hop on the new thing. Everybody's been riding each other's coattails for years. There is no new sound. Remember back when Missy Elliott was mainstream? Shit. Well, you know what I'm saying? Missy Elliott she did her own thing.
Creative as fuck. Music videos.
But you also had Lil' Kim. She wasn't like Missy Elliott. You know what I'm saying? They both were mainstream. But mainstream is missing that, the creativity. And I guess I won't give you
the thing about that, I won't give you creative peak.
Yeah.
Because every time you hear peak is like you hit your ceiling.
You're at the best you can be.
You're at the best that you can be. And to me, and it goes back to something that we've talked about numerous of times because it was the battle, one of the biggest battles throughout the history of hip hop when it came down to Kendrick and Drake, because it came from how I look at it as it was the underground versus mainstream situation. Because the way I look at it as Kendrick represented the underground of the creativity spot, because when you listen to his albums, the man is pouring out truths, the man is pouring out lyrics, the man is giving you something that you won't consider what you hear on the radio. It's not what's trendy. It's not what's something that is, oh, I'm going to play this and whatever. Yes, he might have a trendy song out of the album, out of 15 songs, 18 songs, 20 songs, even 5 or whatever the case you want to be. He might have one song that goes and be hit mainstream, but the whole album is not mainstream.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
I think the name alone makes it mainstream. You get what I'm saying?
Because of him. Yeah. But he still he still represents what we believe in and how we even put our artistry together. He still believes in the creative art. I'm not following the trend. If I'm going to tell my story, I'm going to tell my story my way. I don't need nobody to tell me like, oh no, it's because you're not talking about this, or it's because you're talking about. There is no limitations to what he's doing versus what Drake was doing, because you want to stay in the eyes of everybody else. You're doing what's trendy, you're doing what's hot, you're doing what's popular, versus that. And not saying that Drake cannot be on that level, because he can, because at the end of the day, like I've always told you, when it came down to Drake always been that person that he was the topic of conversations, even if I wasn't talking about him, because I really wasn't, but I had people around me that was talking about he was that person, until he came into this version where he was literally, I'm gonna do what I want to do based off of, because I'm trying to keep myself relevancy end up becoming currency. You feel me? So
that's that repetitive cycle.
Yeah. And just to me,
what they need,
based off of that battle between them two, it brought out, after the smoke cleared, we got creative, not peak, but we got creativity coming back into light.
Well,
you feel me?
I'll say
in a different form, where now when you listen to what happened in 2025, based off of what we got, especially what we talked about, what was the album, this was a year where music was music. It made you, I'm gonna go to my boy Luffy, it gave you that liberation again. A little bit of freedom. It gave you that freedom again. Do what you wanted. Exactly.
But look how people are talking about it with that. And so, all right, so we take the word peak, and we're at a high point. If we're gonna say that, if hip hop in a creative peak right now, because I think we've been just like anything else. Speaking of he got this song called Highs and Lows. Don't let me get to humming.
You about to go in it?
Yeah, let me stop.
You about to go in. You about to go in.
I got a couple drinks. I was about to forget I was on the podcast. Anyway. He has this song that talks about highs and lows, and just the waves of life, and it's not just about highs and lows. It's also about, the highs and lows of the when you rap it, like when you peak, when you rap in, and when you get your it's for me. That's what I get from that song, right? So I look at the word peak, and I see, like, have we hit a point recently?
are we in right now this peak point, or are we in some repetitive like low cycle where everything's low and it's just going? And I feel like that's kind of where we are, is this low spot, right? And even with last year, even with the Clipse, even with JID, none of that shit created anything new. You get what I'm saying? There isn't more freedom. It seems like a lot of these guys, which it's not those guys' fault. I'm not gonna put it on the Clipse. I'm not gonna put it on JID. I'm not gonna put it on Tyler. Them niggas are doing what they supposed to do. But the majority of fans and people who make music nowadays are still wanting the loop. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's a flat line. It's like nobody's on the mic.
I think we're bubbling. Like we said before, I think we're in a bubbling state.
That's what I'm saying. There's motherfuckers just waiting for somebody to tap the mic. Hey,
but it's depending on
mic check, 1 2 1 2. You know what I'm saying?
It will sound like a repetitive cycle. It's depending on who hits that mic first.
That's what I'm saying. It's whoever brings the. But see, and that's that's why I say I feel like people are waiting for the new energy because they don't know where the new energy is going to go. True. Because you got these guys who've dominated the charts over the last few years because of trap music and whatever. You know what I'm saying? This new wave of energy that's came in. Even though I talk mess about him and I don't personally like him, Travis Scott dominated. He's been dominating for the last few years. Like he's a big artist. Like, you know, you can't say hip hop without Travis Scott's name. Yeah. There's a reason why I don't like him, right? It's because like I just don't. He's big enough that I have an opinion about him, right?
Yeah.
Just the same way Future, or just the same way you got Pooh Shiesty nowadays. Like, even though he's more hood, but there's just this level of stuff that's going on, right? 21, fucking Young Thug, you know, niggas like that. But on some level, I feel like we've been in this loop since 2010. And there's a reason why the battle happened. There's a reason why we call it the hip hop civil war. There's a reason why, because maybe, just like you said, it opened up the gate for there to be an added mixture to the chemicals, so there could be a bubble to spike it, because there was no creativity. So when I say we're nowhere, I don't think we're in either, because I don't think we're recycling again, because shit went static. You know what I'm saying? But if we're at a peak, fuck no, boy. We're nowhere near a peak.
Because, that's what I said. Peak wise, that's why I took out the peak out of that.
Yeah, you gotta chop
like
peak off.
We gotta chop peak off, because I feel like we're in a creative state.
We're in that.
We in that
Professor X
exactly, because
plutonium, whatever his name is.
This is why I said I'm going back to 2025, because at the end of the day, the biggest thing was out of the end of that whole year was, we're not in the top 40 after how many years. But the thing about it is we're not in the top 40, not based off of what really was great music. We're not in the top 40 based off of what everybody else think we should have been doing. Yeah. Because we're not in that repetitive cycle. We're not doing what the industry would wanted us to do.
I think also, nigga, 2010 was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The niggas who were born in 2010 are 16 years old. Niggas who were 16 years old in 2010.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Niggas, the music didn't grow. Niggas have stayed the same. They got their niche, and they stayed the same, and they followed that same trend of grab the youth. But maybe the youth don't want that no more.
But there's been the conversation on that part when you say that is the youth didn't want that for a while. Because I'll even bring up my niece on the situation. She even said it. She was, what's her name? What was her name? Icy, not Ice Spice. Sweetie. She was a Sweetie fan when Sweetie first dropped her own single or whatever the case may be. And I even fuck with it. It was a song that Sweetie had with Quavo on it. But the thing about this was that's when I realized that people will gravitate to a specific song, not an artist. They'll gravitate to a specific song, probably an album, but by the time that album flourished, did what it did, they throw it away. And then after a while, it wasn't getting the recognition no more, or that artist wasn't getting recognition no more, because you're doing what end up becoming more popular. And then people was like, okay, cool, you did that. As either I want that, or the fact of the matter is I really don't give a fuck about what you're doing no more. So we came into a point where we started just throwing away music and artistry, because at the end of the day, there was no longevity in that music. There was no longevity in the form of what they were doing. At the moment, it was hot. Now you're not.
Low key, you know, that's why I think people fuck. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Why people fuck with Cardi. You know, like Playboy Cardi. It's because his music don't sound like nobody else's. It may even contain the same type of substance as everybody else's, but it just don't sound the same.
Nobody, yeah.
He brings in a different element that has been missing. Everybody's been doing the same thing. This boy comes in with distorted everything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Changed up his voice. He took everything from the late 2010s and capitalized off of it.
Yeah.
Which you got to remember, niggas was expecting Juice WRLD and X and people like that to be the next thing. And I think Playboy Cardi kind of capitalized off of that, and he's pushing that generation kind of forward.
Yeah.
Because without Juice and without X, Playboy Cardi probably just be, that would be the big three.
Then yeah.
You would have X, you would have Juice, and you would have Playboy. And those would have been the niggas we would have been talking about as big three for a certain generation. My generation, as a young millennial, it would have been, I fucked with that music. I never really, Playboy Cardi, now that I'm older, because I feel like I just can't get with that music no more. But when I was in my early 20s, you couldn't tell me X wasn't one of the best rappers. So I understand where these youngsters come from when they listen to this music, but at the same time, I also feel like the creative peak that we could have had got stolen to us because niggas died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got Playboy Cardi who's making these small peaks. Whenever he decides to drop, it's not a high peak. It's just you know what I'm saying? That would have
been a good question. When it comes down to who everybody would have thought the big three would have been.
I'm telling you. Yeah, bro.
Because the reason why I asked that question is because at the end of the day, when you think about the longevity of the situation, when you bring up Cole, Kendrick, and Drake as the big three, they were still here for this whole...
They would have been the OGs. They would have been like... They would have been like all the niggas that we talking about now, like we look up to, right? Like we look up to Jay, we look up to Nas, we look up to Scarface, we look up to Andre, we look up to fucking Cube, we look up to all them niggas, but the generation in between, you know what I'm saying? Because the South had it for a little bit, and we decided to make a lot of microwave music that niggas danced to, and then we lost it. But we had some standout niggas, but a lot of those niggas who was making ringtone records, they ain't around nowadays. So that generation kind of failed, right? The beginning of my generation, when I really started getting into music, it was a lot of ringtone music.
Yeah.
You had niggas like Soulja Boy out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? DJ Unk them. You know what I'm saying? That was the big records, right? But then you get to you slowly walk yourself. So I look at it like this. We had that big peak. Texas rap was everywhere. Niggas in the South, Atlanta and all them niggas, Atlanta and Dallas were rocking with the ringtone music. Then we went into another underground recession where niggas started just listening to regional music again. And then next thing you know, you got X, boom, you got Juice WRLD, boom, then you got all these other niggas.
Yeah.
So just think about that. I don't know where Juice WRLD's from, but you got a nigga from the South, X. You got a nigga, Cardi, if I'm not mistaken, he from NY, ain't he? Isn't that in New York?
I'll tell you right now.
Hey, right in my shop. See, shit like that was going up back in the day. You also had the...
He from Georgia.
He from Georgia? Ain't no way. So two Southern niggas, and I guess Juice was... I don't know where Juice was from.
I'll tell you right now. Chicago.
So another northern dude. But see boy.
So speaking of big three, because it just dawned on me. Besides them, who was considered the big three before that?
There wasn't one. But before that would have been like before them. It was already the conversation was around Drake, ASAP, Kendrick, J. Cole.
That's something before J. Cole, Kendrick. Before it was solidified that Cole, Kendrick, and Drake was the big three. Before that,
Lil Wayne.
And who else?
Just Lil Wayne.
So it was just
Lil Wayne, Eminem,
the number one.
Yeah, there was just one. But Lil Wayne, Eminem, like niggas was still having the conversation about Eminem. But Lil Wayne was the greatest rapper alive. That's
because the way his mind. Yeah, I can see that.
His era, everybody agreed, damn near. You know, mainstream wise, Lil Wayne was that guy. And he was the guy that created hype around hip hop. He carried hip hop on his back for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So that was before their era. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and you got to think, who comes from Lil Wayne? Drake comes from Lil Wayne. Kendrick quotes Lil Wayne as being one of his inspirations. You get what I'm saying? So niggas was rocking with Wayne. You know what I'm saying? So Wayne was the GOAT. Mixtape Wayne, shit. So if I had to put a big three together,
off of that era, yeah.
Off of that era, I'd say Wayne, 50, and I'm trying to think.
Because that era would be what, our junior high year?
Yeah, our junior high.
Our junior high year?
Yeah. I'd say, well, no, because 50.
Shit, bro. Because
that makes it tough.
That's a tough era.
Yeah, that's
because
a tough era.
It depended on, that is a tough era.
See, but no, when I say niggas that was making hits back then.
But then, to me, even
Candy Shop?
50 will be up there.
50,
I'm not gonna lie. 50 will be up there. If we talk about junior high, 50 will be up there. For me, it's 50, Wayne, and I gotta put M. Because those was the three junior high years. Those was the three artists, especially once 50 came out from In the Club and his run.
But still, Jay was still rapping back then.
Jay was.
He was still on top of his
shit. But the thing about it is, I look at Jay as before them.
Yeah,
because it was Jay and Nas and that era. Because even if he was still rapping through our era in junior high, I feel like the hottest ones were M. Especially, I'm just going to go off of the East, from where I'm from in the East Coast of New York. M was hot as hell. 50 when he came out was hot as hell, and Wayne was hot as hell.
All right, I'll put it like this.
Those three from, that's what I'll see as that big three.
If I'm gonna say something, maybe this sounds crazy. Wayne, because Hustler Music, I think, and Fireman definitely put that nigga on the fucking map.
That put him on the map crazy.
But then you also had Lil Jon.
Ooh,
Crunk Music.
But if we go in there, then you got to talk about Ying. Then okay. That's a different situation.
Who was carrying hip hop? Who was carrying the sound back then?
Because if you got to do that, then you got to put Ying Yang Twins.
You do,
because Ying Yang Twins did. Ying John and Ying, because Ying Yang Twins did carry that sound the same fucking way. Because they didn't.
That was a fucking boy. That was a record. Everybody, I don't care what side of the U.S. you go to, everybody know that song.
You got to put Luda. Because Luda had a major impact too.
So if we just
because that's where it goes into.
So what do we hold the big three at today? Today we consider them the most influential lyrical niggas,
and that's why I feel like that's why the three was there between J. Cole, because when J. Cole came out, based off of his sound and what he was doing, he was very inspirational throughout the whole era. Kendrick came out with him and TDE, but when Kendrick came out as a solo, as how he was inspirational. And everything, and even J. Cole even Drake with his R&B sound, and these were the three lyrically wise, they were three that was untouched.
Yeah.
No matter if we had Wale and all them, these were the three that was really untouched, unmatched.
Were making big moves.
They were creative from the beginning of the jump, and then they came in, and till this day, you cannot mention top lyricists without mentioning them. That's why I said when you go back into that era, when you talk about it for our junior high year, and that's why I said for me personally, when 50 came out, was technically still unmatched. 50 came out with a big bang and he was untouched. He came something with a different sound and he did what he did on the gritty sound. Lil Wayne is automatically there because from, like you said, Fireman, I'm the fireman, and he it still gradually grew, and you could not mention another Lil Wayne drop. Mostly, you was not going nowhere without hearing a Wayne song.
Wait a minute,
and then M.
This might be, and maybe
because when he did
have to talk about this. Maybe we bring this topic up a little.
We gotta get Uncle D
in here.
Yeah,
but Gucci, Gucci man, underground as hell. But this nigga. Those man,
and that's why I feel like it wouldn't be a big three because there's way more. That's why I say it comes into Mount Rushmore and is a syndicate.
Yeah.
Because every technically I could say like damn near every coast had
something going up. Because the West Coast was dead back then. Nipsey was a little later. Yeah, the West Coast was dead for a minute.
The only person I could say West Coast wise, and y'all could correct me,
I guess.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not
New
really.
Boys. Ooh, you a jerk.
Yeah.
But no, they weren't in the conversation.
Because if you had to talk about that, then you had to bring.
Let's not do that.
That was more of that. The only person I would say from the West Coast that was still hitting throughout these years was Snoop. Yeah. Snoop was still hitting throughout these years. Yeah. That's the only person I could say from that. And like I said, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. But Snoop was the one that was hottest out of the West Coast that was still doing his thing, keep going forward. And like I said, and besides with Nate Dogg features, because they had a bunch of Nate Dogg features that came out through that time too. But besides that, those was the only two that I can say. And that was like I told y'all.
And junior high for us was what?
Because
08?
08, no. Keep going back. Because 08 is high school. Because 07 started high school for me and you.
Yeah.
So junior high will be technically speaking 3 years before that, 04 to 07.
Yeah.
So, and during that time, if you had to talk about who was popping out during that time, that still includes the feature king, T-Pain. Yeah. Because he was hot at that moment. Like I said, Lil Wayne came out at that moment.
I think then
you had South from Chamillionaire, T.I. That's what I'm saying. It's not a big three no more.
King of the South.
King of the South. Yeah, he was hot.
Texas music was still on top back then. Because Texas rap was
you had UGK that was still popping at that time the same way too. Because UGK was Lil Flip. Even Outkast was still out there at the time. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's not really
maybe it was a peak. It was one of our highs.
The highs.
Hip hop highs.
Because we had great that's why I said
it ended up being coming from
regions. It ended up being a regional situation.
Yeah, great music was coming from all
every aspect of it.
Boy, 50 Cent. But if you had to name Kanye. Kanye, old Kanye. Because that's
what I'm saying?
That era.
So when you think about it, that's why I say when you sit down and think about it, it's not. That's why I asked the question, because when I thought about it, because when they talked about Big Three, they always bring up Cole, Kendrick, and Drake. But I had to sit down and think. I was like, what was the Big Three before that?
I think this is the first time that it's ever been boiled down to that. But that's because there ain't that many MCs like that. You get what I'm saying?
Because everybody was doing their shit.
Yeah.
At that point, to me, the early 2000s. To 2010 or whatever the case may be, this is where everybody was on top of their shit. This is where if it's as a newcomer, you was out there, you blowing up, versus, like I said, that's why I said T-Pain, 50 and all them, they was really going.
But see, even that's Wayne. Why you go back to 2016, not even 2016, 2011, when shit started really changing. I felt like the game was a little different. You had ASAP Mob. Mm-hmm. You had Joey. Joey was out.
Yeah, that's when he was coming out.
You had Crit when he was still signed to Def Jam. You had Kendrick, who was just really showing up. You know,
that's the change of the guards there.
Mm-hmm. But the music was
still great.
There was enough music to go around.
And that's why I said that was a change of a guards from what we know. Because even if we still talk about it, Wiz Khalifa came out. It was hot as hell. or whatever. So it was a changing of the guards in a sense of we still had great music. Even Young Thug, because Young Thug came out with 20. From what I've heard, with that just a little bit, it was like what 2012, 2013,
2013,
and Future came out. That's when that it kind of changed into that whole trap music sound around that time.
We went into this,
but we was in the changing of the guards era.
Yeah,
at that point.
But see, and that's why. All right, with this question, and I guess my last little thoughts on it is, officially, I feel like we
in a creative space.
We're in a bubbling creative space, but we've been in a repetitive cycle for the longest, and now it's dead air.
Yeah,
it's shit's bubbling, and I feel like with shit bubbling, people are going to get more creative. But right now, I mean, you got a little bit of, like when you warm up a pot and you first start seeing the bubbles pop up. That's what I think 2025 was. Sooner or later, we're gonna see this motherfucker bubbling. But at some point, the heat got to get turned off again, and we're gonna go back into another little a slope. But hip hop, I think hip hop's on the way back into getting creative, because now that's what you need. You need to find a new way, because obviously that shit's dead. Nope. You got 21 Savage talking about the streets is fuck the streets and all this and all that. All obviously that shit that's been going on since 2014. It's been cooked. It's been 10 years of that shit. Now it's time for something new.
Yeah, it's time
and nobody knows what to do. But the motherfucker that pop out, who can move the wave,
he gonna pop out and show niggas certified boogie, man.
All right. They gonna be calling you a K-bot. Anyway, we good? You feel like we wrapped it up nice?
I think we did our thing tonight.
Yeah, I think we got
damn. We got a good one. We got a good one. This was a good one.
Fuck around, be 3 hours long.
Hey man, we touched what we had to touch. You feel me? Yeah. The subjects was taught. But at the end of the day, you know what it is. I'm your boy Ill-Minded Taz. That's your boy Archie. This is the Lyrically Acclaimed Podcast, and Uncle D will always be here. But we signing out. Peace.
The way I spit hits harder than an hour later. Y'all soon call me the new rap assassinator. Got